It
The
should
link
have moved back.
around.
It moved back
Because
on
of-
my screen.
Because of failsy. Why else?
It hasn't moved back on my screen.
It
Huh,
did on
personal
mine,
problem.
so. Yeah,
Just thought
Sounds
that
like-
that's something personal problem.
it sounds like a problem. Not my problem, but a problem.
I am doing the link bomb.
Hmm?
Why did
This
it
is what-
sound like somebody couldn't breathe? Oh.
This is what goes through my head before every game.
Quack.
Whack. Junk.
So, posed idea.
You stopped working.
You know the stories of like the animal brides where you take off like the ones with the feather cloaks and all?
No.
Explain this.
I know the kind of stories you're talking about.
Okay. It's better suited with the seal and the seal skin.
Yeah, the selkie.
Oh,
Yeah, the selkie.
I know that does.
The feathered variant, but instead of a beautiful lady, it's just you take the goose from Untitled Goose Game, and then they take off their feathered cloak, and it's just a naked man running around trying to steal your shit, and you're trying to put the cloak back on him so he turns into a goose and doesn't have opposable thumbs.
That goose doesn't need opposable thumbs.
No. That goose is an agent of chaos, and I love him.
I haven't played that game, but
Neither have I, but I love him. I'll name
I
him
have to watch a
Steven.
Let's Play of
I
it.
want to play it as well. It's just that it's a Epic Store exclusive right now until like late
Because of course it
2020.
is. I think that's why Markiplier hasn't been doing many recent game releases. Because he'd get
Well, he's
chewed out
taking a
by
nap.
half a million people just because he goes to Epic Store.
I'm convinced that part of why he hasn't been doing a lot of stuff here lately is because he's on The Masked Singer and he's the leopard.
And also, he just did a heist with Markiplier.
Yeah, I know. I just mean it would be a very controversial thing for Markiplier to play games that are Epic exclusive, since he has that massive fan base.
Watch many Markiplier videos. I watch Captain Sparkles and I watch Jacksepticeye. But I mainly watch Jacksepticeye for Minecraft.
Yeah, just Jacksepticeye suddenly becomes a Minecraft channel.
Anyway,
Moving on.
hello, we is back.
Weird.
Crap, I forgot to post on Twitter that we're stream. Let me do that real fast.
I am Devour Pete's.
Hello, Internet. We are all tired.
I'm not.
As in tired.
Everybody but the DM is tired.
Awesome.
It's the middle of the day here. I'm fine.
Failsy is fine. Ash is fine.
Americans are tired.
I'm
Ash is an
American.
Yeah. Ash
Okay,
is
no.
fine.
Okay,
I am
so
always tired.
Ash, you've been
Americans
demoted
and
to
a
Australian.
Canadian.
That's right, it is a demotion. Know
It's
your
not
place.
It's not a demotion. There are two people from Australia that are awesome.
I know, I'm
Only
I'm being-
two.
a dickhead. So, nothing new has changed.
Never realized how much I appreciate good font in video games until I played Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2.
Anyway, We are the Strim. I did the tweet, so everybody introduce yourselves real fast.
Hello. I am Hunter, and I am tired. On to the next person.
Yo, it's Danny. I am the streamer. I am also tired, and apologies if I just sound down tonight. Some personal stuff has happened that I don't want to go into on stream.
All the love.
I am Felzy. I am currently locked outside of the houses.
What?
Not wrong.
Oh. Forget, do I go now or just Andy?
No, you go.
Oh,
At the bottom.
I am Miss. You can find me in your freezer.
I am Mandy.
No special.
I can be found in the back of your closet.
Yeah, that's why I'm in the freezer.
Listen, I'm just hiding underneath that pile of like really old sweaters.
Those are mine.
All right, weirdos.
Y'all, Halloween was last month. It's Thanksgiving time now in the U.S.
Every day is spooky day. I am an Eldritch Horror.
Fair enough.
I mean, I could subject you to my spooky again.
No!
Yeah, I'm down.
No!
Let's be
Get
honest,
that away
I-
from my child!
Let's be honest. Yeah, I was down for it. That was fucking awesome.
I used to write.
Stop.
You'd never know it, but I used to write horror, guys.
No, I can tell.
Oh, do you mean we're going to play another game of Silent Hill?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it depends. That's
Anyway.
not important, though.
Anyway,
Depends on how
Hello,
naughty.
everyone.
Depends
It's
on how naughty the
me.
children are.
Yes. Hello, everyone. It's me, Game Master. Last time on the Scattered Realms, Session 25, our band of intrepid adventurers, Cantus the Lucidus Bard, Dervinche the Human Dancer, Morrigan the Hexblade Warlock, Filzy the Sorcerer, and Brimstone the Confused Romantic, found themselves spending some time bar hopping between some of Keta's old haunts from her childhood, traveling around, drinking, flirting, and being flirted with, and just having a good time in order to get over the continued sadness left from the terrors of the previous night. I wonder who did that. But we find them now, the next morning, having either woken up in a comfy bed, or pile of stuffed animals, all depending on where you slept. Probably with a rabbit on you.
Many.
Even if you're not in Keta's room, there is somehow a rabbit on you.
They kind of just have minds of their own.
Or Fezzi, you were able to find a place at a local inn after your nightly escapade doing things.
Stuff. People.
Things, stuff, people, things. Anyways,
All of the
you all
people.
come to you come to the next morning, feeling refreshed and glad for the fact you were not stolen away in the night again.
Yeah.
It is, however, raining this morning, as you all come
okay.
to.
Ash, I have a question.
Ash is not here. It is but Game Master.
Um.
No. Anyways, what's your question?
Does Kota know where her dad might keep military-related things from, like, his time serving? Like,
What
in the house?
are you wanting?
Because Kota wants to try to look for information on, like, ships and, like, names of ships, and if she can't find it, she's gonna ask her dad.
I mean, he'd probably more or less keep those in his bedroom, like his and Vivian's bedroom. 'Cause it's where he has his desk and his little, what you could refer to as an office setup.
Right?
Basically,
Alright.
where he handles paperwork for the local town guard.
I can sneak in there.
All right. Nothing would be stopping you from sneaking in there, but you'd have to make some stealth checks considering Redemption and Vivian are also both still asleep at this point.
I want to try to sneak in there.
All right. Well, Kenta's doing that. What's the rest of the party doing?
Morgan would probably be sleeping in a little bit because of having gone drinking the night before.
That's fair. You all did enjoy yourself quite a few spirits.
Depending on how hungover Felsie is, she's probably still in bed or has gotten up to stumble back to the house.
Alright. You didn't really drink as much as everyone else, I imagine, because you were throat burning for the rest of the night. So probably would have been somewhat hard for you to drink too much more. So I don't imagine you're too hungover. So you could get yourself up and stumble your way back to the house with relative ease. There's no one really stopping you along the way. Do get a couple of odd glances just because this is a fairly fairly close knit, like, I want to say civilization. That's not the right word. This fairly close knit town. There we go. I don't know why my brain forgot the word town. So yeah, it's a fairly close knit town. So some people who still haven't seen you from your previous nightly escapades, they sort of like just give you an awkward eye, not knowing who you are. But no one really stops you to bother you or anything.
Morning. Hello.
You say to a closed
Do I
door.
know you?
Oh.
Just on the way through town, at random people.
A lot of confusion ensues, with more or less everyone saying they either don't recognize you or that they saw you at the bars that the group went to last night. All right, Dravinche and Brimstone. I get there eventually. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Call Brimstone so many other things. It's hard to remember his actual name sometimes.
I don't know what Brimstone would be doing right now. Probably just up and out. He doesn't like standing around doing nothing, so he's probably just out wandering.
All right. Dravinche.
Um, I well, he had done a fair bit of drinking, given that he was performing, probably not as much as, say, Morogon. So, probably after waking up, he would try to slip out without disturbing her. And does Keta's or does this house have a library or anything?
I believe I was asked that before. It has a small study which is not too far from Redemption's and Vivian's bedroom. It's not really used for too much. It's basically just a sitting room for whenever Redemption has people over that he has to be somewhat impressing to, i.e.,
Well,
like the town's head guard and everything.
Well, he would take after slipping out and not disturbing Morogon. He'd probably go over to the study and try to read a bit.
All right.
See if they have any books relating to magic.
Not too much in relation to magic, to be honest, and nothing specifically for actual like arcane study. It's more the few books that you'd be able to find about that have any sort of magical knowledge in them would pertain to divine magic. As Redemption being a paladin and then Vivian being a cleric, that's more their purview.
You would still give those a read over.
All right. So yeah, while you're reading over those, Keta, go ahead and make that stealth check for me.
Okay. Give me a second. Okay. Yes!
All right.
Nice.
And that's
all-
Loved her.
Of all things it could be on, though.
and that's when Vivian has like a 31 passive perception.
I actually have to check what her passive perception is.
Hi.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're in your journal for some reason.
Yeah, because I made them.
Yeah, but I thought I moved them to the NPC's journal. Like, they're under your tab rather than being in the NPC tab. Alrighty then. Let's see. Sorry. Throat's clogged up. This is what I get for eating pizza right before it's game time. Alright then, looking around at the speed of sound. Neither of them wake up.
Okay.
Keta knows where all the creaky floorboards are.
Sneak out a couple times.
Or they had her candy in their room. No one can.
So, do I know where I'm going at least?
To get to Redemption's desk, yeah, it's just on one side of the room.
Right. I'm gonna try to slowly open the drawer because that's my wherever he may keep his papers. I'm just going to slowly try to open it up without making much noise.
All right. Yeah, you open up one of the drawers and it's just filled with papers. A lot of it looks like either census records that he helps organize, or it's actual supply documents for the town guard.
Right.
It's a lot of just civil papers for the town itself. You remember that Redemption's always been fairly good at organizing things, so he just helps keep the town going.
All right. So I'm gonna try to go through all the town papers to see when I can get to military-related papers. Because from the story that Lee told me about Ceres, she was taken by military ship, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
4.
You're digging through the pile and just digging and digging, and eventually you do get to some military documents. But by the time you do, you start hearing Redemption sort of coughing and starting to wake up.
To take the however many I can get my hands on, stuff them in my shirt, and then I'm gone.
So you start just stuffing paper into your shirt as you hear behind you, Keta, what are you doing? And then you just bolt out of the room.
Because that's not suspicious.
I thought I had more time.
It's more or less once you start stuffing stuff in your shirt, you're making sound no matter what you roll.
That's true.
Especially paper.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do it wildly. It's try to at least get it in a somewhat nice pile.
Yeah. You got the papers. You got a lot of them. It's just the act of putting them in your shirt made sound. And
again,
Redemption's not a heavy sleeper.
Cat is probably over in in the hallway. Do I go downstairs to go in my room, and then just going downstairs?
Need to hide.
Redemption just slowly blinking. That's probably nothing. He just lays back down. Alright. Dravinci, you of course see as Keta just suddenly comes out of that room, like, and just looks around, then scrambles away.
Paper's falling out of her shirt a little bit.
Do you have any other?
Oh, that's good blackmail material for later.
Appropriate reaction. Alright. At this point, Failsy, you'd be getting back to the house.
Is the door open?
No, it's still locked because no one's left the house yet. Brimstone was getting up and getting ready, but as we all know, per D&D rules, I assume Brimstone always wears his armor.
Yes.
So yeah, it's taken a while to get that all on.
I mean, it only takes a minute.
Doesn't Brimstone have medium armor?
No, he has light armor.
Oh, I thought he had medium armor.
Hmm.
Well, still, getting dressed and out in the morning
Yeah.
still takes a while.
Yeah, that's true. Brimstone's not in a hurry, so he would still be taking his time regardless.
Yeah.
Cat is up. If there's knocking, she can go get the door.
What time is it for when Failsy's at the door? Is it like too early in the morning for people to be reasonably up?
It's like 7, 8 in the morning right now.
So, no.
It's like, give me a quick intelligence check to see if Failsy has etiquette on ungodly hours in the morning.
All right. You don't
Under
care.
10. Knock, knock, knock.
Thunk, 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 Keta, as you're scrambling with your papers out of the room. The front door suddenly gets a rapping.
Okay. Just slowly deposit the papers onto a nearby table and go.
It
Arm
sounds-
to the front table.
It sounds very official
Yeah.
because it was Failsy's staff against the door.
I'm in trouble. So
The authorities have already found out what I did.
Oh god, it's Popo.
She's gonna slowly open the door, but like with the lock still on it, if it's like that chain lock.
Probably has at least one of two of those.
It's like peek out to see who it is.
Depends if she recognizes Failsy's full gear, like full covering gear. Because she kind of looks like a official Inquisitor.
Yeah, Failsy straight up looking like a Bloodborne character right now.
Would it be an intelligence check to see if Katja can recognize this as
Be a
Failsy?
perception check.
Okay, because if not, it's scared baby.
Yeah, it's Failsy. You see, like, the tail coming out the back of the outfit. And the fact that it has Failsy's glass staff.
She's gonna like kind of one moment, and then close the door, undo like the 4 locks.
Whoosh, whoosh. Door opens now.
Good thing Failsy didn't try and pick that lock. That she'd be there all day.
Yeah.
Morning,
Son.
Failsy.
Morning.
Help me go through papers. You're smart.
Sure.
Please?
She would take that compliment.
Alright. So I guess you both are going to be poring over these documents.
Telling Failsy to look for Gon's name, I believe, because it was Gon's ship that saved Lee. Or
Subjective, but yes.
from what Lee had told Keta.
Fair enough.
Okay. She'll start poring over military records. I
And
guess.
If she can find it, Keta's just like this, like at least trying to get a lead on investigating stuff.
Would this be an investigation roll?
Yeah, so this would be
So-
both of you making an investigation roll or one of you making it with advantage.
I'll give Failsy advantage.
Okay. 5 in investigation.
I have a 2.
17.
All right.
Does any such document even exist?
All right. As you guys start pouring through these papers, the rest of the party, you would be coming to or being able to leave your room at this point. So, Morrigan, you've gotten your sleep out. You're not too hungover, though you could definitely use a glass of water and some bread. Have those the morning after, maybe some bacon.
Yeah, totally. Like, if there's no, like, she doesn't even care. She's got the blanket from the bed wrapped around her shoulders as she comes down to the main sitting area. Just like, grumpy tiefling.
One grumpy tiefling is suddenly presented to you guys as you're poring over papers.
Goes back to just pouring over papers.
Morning, Morrigan. Fauzi says cheerily, like not hungover at all.
Morning.
We're just looking over nothing. I can make breakfast soon.
Morrigan, they just have like a full coffee table just full of spread out papers.
I would like to insight check that, and if I have to do that at disadvantage, I don't care. I still want to try.
She's not doing a good job of hiding it, so you don't have disadvantage.
Okay.
Fauzi can't lie because she hasn't been told that this is bad.
Can I try deception with the disadvantage?
I'll let you, yes. The actual tone for which you said it.
Yeah.
Good man.
Alright, so wow, this is a up and down game right now.
Very
Clearly.
festive.
Oh, okay, so it's
Alright, you guys
Alright,
use up all our 20s for this fucking game.
Alright, roll 20. I know you're in the festive spirit.
Christmas is on the horizon.
I fucking love Christmas! I do actually love Christmas.
I
Those
just
people
wish
who
it wasn't
enjoy
hyped as much.
I'm fine with how much it's hyped.
Kenta is bunny sweating.
Fair enough.
I don't like going to the stores on the lead up to Halloween and having an aisle of Christmas
Anyway,
next to the aisle of Halloween.
Yeah, anyway.
Morrigan, this baby's hiding something.
Scratch ass.
Kata, what are you doing?
May or may not be looking through military documents to find something, but that's none of anyone's concern.
I find
President
that,
Sapsai, what military
I just
secrets am I
want-
looking through here?
I just want to imagine Dravinche just walking down the stairs, one of the books in hand, as she says that.
I mean, that's fine. Now I have to imagine that both Da Vinci and Brimstone come out at the same time into this room.
Oh, so that's what you stole from your parents' room.
You did what?
Shut up!
It's too early in the morning for this, and I'm too hungover for this, Kata. What the hell?
Looking for something.
Looking for what?
Of a ship.
Meanwhile, the results of your guys' rolls. You don't really find anything in reference to Gond in these papers. That'd probably be something you'd have to go to like a more port city to find military papers for.
It seems like they'd be a little far away from any event that would be recorded.
This is
Especially,
Keta's brain trying to start this up. So
especially being in the desk drawer of a regional bureaucrat. I don't know what redemption is here.
He is a town guard.
Okay, so yeah,
He has
these would be
no
town
official
guard
title.
things.
give the
Yeah.
child some break. She's not good at starting investigations.
Fair enough.
So what
Basically,
devil's
all-
secrets did I find in the town guard?
You find a lot of papers detailing shipments coming in and out of the town.
shipments and payroll.
Pretty much. Redemption, that's more or less his job when he's not actively guarding the town, is to keep track of records.
He's he's the bookkeeper.
Because he's smart compared to most of the town guard.
Yeah.
Well, I know the daily rate of all the guard here, but I don't know anything about any ships.
Good.
Yes.
I
Sorry,
hit her head against the wall.
it's wasted rolls, unfortunately,
No,
but they just wouldn't have the information here.
It makes sense. Kenta doesn't know this stuff. So she's
Yeah.
like, my dad was military, so it makes sense.
Fair enough.
What are you looking for, and why?
Is Lee downstairs yet? Or is he still upstairs?
He didn't get up with you, so you haven't seen him yet.
She's gonna like motion for them to come in like very close.
Felzy does so.
I may be looking for the name of Gon's ship. So when he had a ship, so then I could maybe try to find the lady who helped kind of raise Lee. Because when we were over at the temple, they couldn't connect to her spirit, so it makes me think that she's not dead, and I want to do something nice for him. Because he does a lot of nice things for us. Now you gotta keep it a secret.
Yes, but okay. But Keta, we're in the middle of inland.
This is the only place I could think to start of, okay?
We can investigate. We can investigate that stuff. Next time we're over in Jezebeth.
If I had that spell that you can contact people from far away, I can ask Gon, but I don't, and I don't think Mom knows him.
Well, I mean, there is the possibility of traveling back to the last place we met him. Whether he'd left already or not, we don't know.
And I have the name of the lady. It's just
What's her name?
Second to just flick over to the other page in her character sheet because I actually wrote this down.
I'm glad
Her name
you
is
did.
Ceres. Yes, her name is Ceres Felwind. And
Can I get that written out so I could add it to
Yeah.
notes for
Ceres
Felzy's long
is
list of
spelled
bullshit?
Seres.
Seres.
and Felwind is
It's
Fell.
Yeah, it's Felwind.
Felzy makes a note of that in her long list of things to research.
Just Lee does a lot of things for us, and it seems important at least a little bit for him. Can't tell him that I'm doing it. I'm gonna
My
be a little
lips
bit
are
surprised.
sealed.
If they aren't, I will smack you with my guitar.
Your motivations are noble, Keta, but I think you're going about it the wrong way. I can't focus
Obviously.
on this, so I need some water.
Obviously, we're going through about this the wrong way. We're looking at guard records.
I got them.
I love.
Shut-
In my head, basically, Felzy has known what you guys are looking at the whole time, just didn't know what Keta was looking for. So just never mentioned it.
Can you put the records back together and I'll start making breakfast?
And what will you say when your parents come down here and see a big old stack of papers?
Don't worry, I will get them back.
Felzy will try and put them back in some form of order. What kind of role would that be to put them?
It's not really going to require any roll. You rolled high enough on your investigation that you can put them back in the order you found them in.
Okay.
Dad and Lee have cooked. It's my turn to cook.
1 hour later, the whole house is burned down.
Captain knows how to cook. She knows how to cook.
I'm making a joke.
She's gonna just
Point.
like make some pancakes for everybody.
Alright then.
Cue the picture of the dog sitting at the kitchen table on fire. This is fine.
That's just the whole party of tieflings. This is fine. And then Da Vinci in the background. This isn't fine! Yeah.
So, Ketcha's gonna make a lot of pancakes, some eggs.
Alright. Roll performance. Or rather, roll a dexterity check with proficiency. But this is not charisma-based performance, this is dexterity-based performance.
So dexterity-based performance. So adding a +2 to that. Oh. That's really good.
Wouldn't- I mean,
Technically, it would be a +1 because you wouldn't get your jack of all trades. So 19 in total.
wouldn't she still be using her proficiency bonus from performance or no?
Yeah, that's why she's getting proficiency rather
Doesn't-
than jack of all trades.
Doesn't she have expertise in performance?
I don't know. Does she?
Yeah, I have a +9 in performance.
Yeah, so you'd have an additional. So it would be a 21, wouldn't it?
Could be.
So your dexterity is a +2. What's your proficiency?
+2.
So it's +6. So it'd be 17 + 6, so 23. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right then. So 23. Keta is able to make some nice fluffy pancakes for everyone. This is a food you know how to make. This is a food you've made quite a bit. Yeah. Everyone can enjoy pancakes. Mordegon, this
Chocolate
is
chips in them.
a little bit much, but this is pretty much exactly what the doctor ordered. This is helping you a lot.
And just sitting there quietly eating, getting less grumpy the more she eats.
Eventually, as you're cooking and as everyone else is eating, as pancakes are pretty much just dulled out as they're finished. Redemption and Vivian do come out.
Thing.
Morning.
Breakfast.
Keta. What were you doing in our bedroom earlier?
Nothing. Just doing nothing.
He gives you the dad look, but only the dad look that can be delivered from a man who just woke up. So
I
you
have
snuck
chocolate chips in them.
whatever you took, put it back when you're done. Yeah, and then him and Vivian just sort of sit down and start enjoying pancakes as well.
Dad, I have a question, and you know how much I love you.
Oh God, what did you do now?
This feels loaded.
And would I maybe go to find information on ships that might have been in the military?
You'd have to go to a proper military outpost, or I could write someone to get you some information. What do you need?
I need, from what I have been told, the information that I have been given, I am
You'd
looking.
also need to know if it was part of the Jezebeth military or part of the Graynham military.
I'm not too sure about that because the information that I've gotten is vague.
Mm.
Andy does not remember Gon's full name, but I know Keta has been told it.
It's gone Skyrock.
So, I'm looking for any ship that might have been captained by a man named Gon Skyrock.
The name rings a bell.
Orc.
Yeah. I'll send some letters on. I'll see what I can get you.
Thank you.
Any particular thing I'm looking for about that? Because I can send more specific letters.
There was possibly a captured woman by the name of Sarah Felwind.
Gonna make a
Oh,
history
that-
check for redemption.
I just noticed that Felzy actually knows about this bit. Oh, she's got it written in her notes.
Didn't you also just write it down, or is it later?
Oh no, this one was like a lot later under the Castaway.
I don't
She's
know.
probably a.
I don't know.
I don't know
If
if
he would know about that.
I'm not sure.
Redemption. Why aren't you set to roll to
I
GVS?
think she might have been present but didn't say anything because it was an RP between Lee and Kedda.
Uh,
Or was this between? Or was this from Gond himself?
maybe. I think you might have learned that Gond saved, or Gond got Lee because the things where Lee's been talking about it, you were not present for them. Because the only person he's talked to about it has been Keta directly, and then somewhat to Da Vinci.
I generally just ignore information if Fails is not there and not write it down.
My goodness, Roll20, you're on a roll today.
Yeah, what do you get?
You got a natural 20.
Fuck.
See, we're using all the 20s on the stuff that doesn't matter, and then when we actually have to like fight things, we're all gonna miss.
I think
This
I'm-
stuff matters.
We're just all gonna get killed by Will-O-Wisps.
I'm just gonna murder you.
Yeah,
Just
we're
catch you on fire and burn you forever. All
yeah,
right.
probably. Sounds
So-
like something Dad would do.
Your dad's not involved. Anyways. He, like, taps his chin for a second. Thelwyn sounds familiar.
Any particular reason?
I remember... That was the name of a pirate captain that got captured.
Is she still alive?
Well, the pirate captain was male. I don't know who Ceres was. But the captain, no, he was publicly executed in
Oh.
Jezebeth.
Okay.
I don't remember anyone else on the crew being executed. They were either tried, and they might have been executed, not in the public sense, but Jezebeth has different laws when it comes to that sort of thing than Greyno does.
Huh, so
They're a lot more strict on their criminals.
What was the name of the male captain?
I just remember Felwyn off the top of my head. I wasn't really involved in the situation. Yeah, even with a natural 20, he only knows so much.
If you can ask for some information, that'd be very good, Dad.
I'll do what I can, Keta.
Important.
I can probably even write Gone since he was a military man.
I mean,
Well-
I've met Gone. It's just
Why didn't you ask him then?
as I didn't know then.
Just
Hey,
He gives
we
you
learned
that don't
some-
get snappy with me.
yeah.
you can say that we learned some information after we departed ways. Question, just to narrow down your search. If Felwyn was captured and executed by the Jezebeth army, wouldn't that mean Gon's ship was a part of the Jezebeth army? Or militia?
No, that just means that the Felwind captain was wanted in Jezebeth. I mean, he never became an issue in Graynham because our waters aren't exactly the type of place piracy goes through. It's mostly the waters between Jezebeth and Tezverel.
Still, we could probably access their archives and at some point and find out which ship captured him if they have a record.
Yeah, they should have public record on that if it was a public execution, so they wouldn't hide the record of it.
Just kind of like looking towards the steps if Lee hasn't come down yet.
No, he still hasn't come down.
It's important. When you get the information, just put it aside if I'm not back home yet. I'm
I could do that for you, Geta.
gonna go take pancakes upstairs.
Maybe you should also bring back those papers.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's what you took. Okay.
I'm just gonna take a plate of pancakes and a stack of papers upstairs, put the papers back, and head into her room.
All right. You find Lee in the same sleeping position, just like Family Guy and fallen on top of your pile of stuffed animals.
And she's gonna kind of gently shake him. Oh, it's time to get up. I made breakfast. It's
Just like a
chocolate chip
Snorlax.
pancakes.
He very slowly and very groggily pushes himself up.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just tired.
I give him a look over to see if there's anything wrong with him.
You can make a medicine check.
She makes sure he eats. 21.
He does look weirdly pale, like as opposed to his normal like dark green complexion. He is like a lighter green than normal. And he does have like bags under his eyes despite the fact that he has slept, so he just looks exhausted.
Have you been sleeping well?
Yeah, I've been sleeping well, I guess.
Look absolutely tired.
It's just weird not it's just weird not to sleep on the rocking ship. I can't really get used to it.
Sorry. You should have told me.
I didn't want to bother you.
Wait.
It's fine, Keta, it's fine. These are good
No, it's
pancakes,
not.
by the way.
I learned from the best.
I didn't tell you how to make pancakes.
No, my dad did.
No fighting words.
He puts his hand slowly on his chest and looks hurt. And then just gives you a sleepy smile.
You need to tell us if something's wrong.
I thought I'd get over it, but I don't even know if it's just 'cause I'm sleepy.
Maybe it's you got a lot on your mind.
I guess it's just I don't know. I'm just tired and hungry all the time, and I don't know why. Even when I eat, as he just takes a big old mouthful.
Does this sound like any kind of disease?
I mean, even with a medicine check of 21, it doesn't necessarily sound like a disease. Mostly because most diseases coincide with a lack of appetite rather than a constant hunger.
Sound like puberty.
Maybe, you don't know how old he is.
He's a growing Wookiee. Oh god.
This is his third puberty. Orcs have 7.
Each time they just grow bigger,
They just get more and more muscles.
more and more tusks.
After you're done with breakfast, how about you talk with my mom? She's better with the whole medicine thing.
I guess I could do that. Okay.
We've been doing a little looking into what we talked about.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, my dad, he's really smart. Super smart. And he is going to send some information, or at least ask for some information about the ship that Gond was on
Okay.
and about Ceres.
Okay.
The name Felwind, but well, I don't know if you want to know tales of what happened to the male captain.
Sounds bad based on how you just said that.
And she kind of just draws her finger across her throat.
Yo, that sounds bad.
Sorry, I want to help you and make sure you.
Oh, by the way, Lee has his tusk back.
Wait a second. His face.
Yeah.
Your wait, is it both tusks?
Yeah, both have grown back.
Fully?
Yeah.
Nope, it's like put the plate down or going downstairs.
But I'll be in the pancakes.
Eat the pancakes in a minute. Something is weird going on.
I want to eat the pancakes, though.
Take the pancakes with us. Lee, did you not notice you have both your tusks back?
Yeah, that always happens.
This is a day after they're gone.
Yeah, that always happens. Sometimes it takes a few days, but they always grow back real fast.
Mhm.
He just puts a pancake in his mouth and starts chewing and eating it as he walks forward.
Here. Obviously going on. And if you're sick with us to go to adventuring things.
I'm not sick, Keta. I'm just tired.
But what if tired leads to you getting sick? And then what if you can't get better? And what if I lose you?
I mean, I guess that would happen if I was or if I wasn't adventuring.
Mhm.
I don't have a good answer to that, Keta.
That's why I wanted to take every precaution. Okay?
That's why we're gonna go see your mom.
Yes, then for pancakes.
I like the pancakes. Alright, so you guys can head downstairs. The rest
Yeah,
of the party...
Kind of leading Lee downstairs.
The rest of the party, to varying degrees based on your medical knowledge, Lee looks kind of pale. Like, the best way to describe it is that he looks exhausted.
Hi, everyone. I got Lee.
Hello?
Oh,
Hey,
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
No one was saying anything, so I was confused.
It's okay.
I think we were waiting to see if you had anything more to say.
No,
So
that's
I
just...
keep
just the
muting
dis-
myself.
All good. Just the basic description of Lee as you guys first see him.
huh.
You look like shit.
Cat's
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it outright, but yeah.
Tusks grew back in the night.
Uh-huh.
How much did you drink?
Did you drink last night?
Hold on a second, guys.
I'm pretty sure he didn't drink anything at the bar. He kept getting slapped.
Well, we were told to hold on a minute.
That was more Failsy musing.
I know.
Sorry about that, guys. Maul just got back home. Alright.
Goddamn dog.
Alright, so. Back to scene.
They asked Lee if he drank anything last night, or how much did he drink?
I drank some fruit juice. And I had a glass of milk at that one place. And if you mean alcohol, I'm not allowed to drink alcohol.
Are you not
Why
old
not?
enough for it?
I don't know. Gorn just said I'm not allowed to drink alcohol.
And know how old he is.
There's gotta
Well,
be
he
a...
didn't say I couldn't drink alcohol. Like, he didn't say, like, it would be... I don't know why he said I can't drink it. He just said I can't drink it. He says I'm not allowed to.
That doesn't mean you ply him with alcohol, Failsy.
What? But no, I didn't drink any... I didn't drink any of that weird stuff you guys drink.
You look hungover, so I ask.
Oh, no. I
Her
didn't drink...
mom. And point at Lee. Like, help.
Alright, let's look at this. And she just gets up and just walks over to Lee. And makes a bit of a weird face.
Yeah.
And she's actually gonna, like, look at you, Keta. Because she remembers being told stories about this the previous night.
Mm.
He's a magic user, yes?
He's a bard.
And it appears he has a symptom of, I believe it's typically called mana burnout. It's when you consistently have used all of your magic or can't replenish your magic properly.
Well, with how much he uses magic and then denies it, that doesn't surprise me.
Doesn't know half the times he's using magic. I've seen that happen.
I don't do magic, except for the weird thing I do. I don't like doing that, and I don't do it very often.
Lee, no, it's not just that. I've seen you do magic, you just don't realize it. So maybe
I
it's...
don't do magic, Keta.
Okay, what part of you don't realize it is not getting through?
I don't do magic.
You need...
It's not really mana burn. It's he's been cooking too much.
I haven't been cooking too much. I haven't had to cook anything the last few days.
Waffles.
But
Well-
this whole entire time, when we were traveling, you cooked.
Yeah, and I'm just cooking. I'm not using magic to cook, I'm just cooking.
Oh,
It kind of looks at her mom and says in Celestial, it's a hard thing to tell him that he does magic.
can I try an Arcana check to see if I can gain any insight on Lee's situation?
You can, yes.
24.
I mean, they're constantly being tired and hungry. It sounds like mana burnout. Which, to give context, it is what is technically a disease you can suffer from, which is you have to consistently use all of your magical power every single day for like a month straight, and you'll basically overexhaust your ability to produce magic and bend the weave.
It sounds like that's what this boy's been doing.
Is that like a disease where you're forced to like burn all your magic, or
It's a disease where you can't produce magic anymore.
Ah, gotcha.
Until
It's
it
magic
goes away.
diabetes.
okay, so it's like caused by burning your magic slots and that.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
magic diabetes.
What it actually does to you is essentially make it to where your body cannot physically interact with the weave for a period of time because you are overexerting your will over the weave.
And it reacts rather poorly to that.
It's maybe Lee's been stressed a bit, and it's affecting his ability to do things.
The best thing be just to have him rest.
Typically, yes, that's how you treat it, is not using magic. You just have to wait for it to go away. There are more alchemical ways to treat it, but they can have some nasty side effects.
Oh,
Ooh, do tell.
Do you all know about wild magic?
Just
I would
Cheshire
say we
Green.
know a fair bit.
Kinda.
It can cause
Yes.
a person to be afflicted with gouts of wild magic. Simply because the weave itself is attempting to reject them, and they're attempting to force their will upon the weave. It's not a pretty sight.
oh,
It
Please.
is also what can happen if you attempt to cast spells while under the effects of mana burn.
actually, Lee needs a nap and to let other people cook, and probably to stay here while we go to.
I don't need to do that. I can still use this sparkle slap. I just don't want to.
But no, that's the thing. If you interact with magic, it could have bad effects, and I don't want to have bad effects on you.
But I don't use magic.
He's stubborn.
I can
Yeah.
tell.
But why would you have a disease that only magic users tend to get?
Cause I got like magic in my blood or something. I don't know.
I have magic in my blood. Most of us have magic in our blood,
Keta,
except for
Keta,
like maybe.
hey, Keta. It's cool.
Shay.
I don't think this is mana burn at all. Engage lying off her ass mode. This is a rare disease for aspiring chefs.
Mhm.
You gonna give it a name?
It's called Ramsey Ricketts.
I hate you so much.
Alright, make a deception check.
22.
I think at this point she's mostly trying to deceive Lee.
Well, sounds legit. Let me actually roll insight for Lee.
This is more so Lee accepts the whole do not cook because Felsy's also thinking Felsy's going to slap a waffle and explode.
Yeah, he's going to try to make waffles and accidentally make a bomb.
Fireball level 5 on himself.
Oh god.
Or it could be something like suddenly Lee has a massive beard.
Clap. Beard. He actually already has a beard.
Well, yeah,
Massive.
that. Yeah, more like the woodsman.
True,
Lee
though I have
just,
seen
Lee just
catastrophic.
looks at Failsy. I don't like it. Let's go find an alchemist.
Oh, you could.
I
Not-
I think Lee, you should just rest. Although I do have a question regarding mana burn.
Yes.
Are there any diseases or situations that can have mana burn as a side effect?
Mana burn in of itself, it's not technically a disease, it's a condition, but it's treated like a disease among adventurers, at which you all obviously are at this point. Anyways,
Now,
yeah, it's strange to point out. Still, not really, it's kind of its own thing. You can suffer from it from a number of reasons. It's just anything that causes the weave to reject you. Typically, that only happens because you are bending it too much. Eventually, it's going to snap back.
Could it happen from
Yeah.
rejecting it? If you reject the weave.
I mean, if you reject the weave, then yes, you won't be able to use magic.
And what if you reject the notion of the weave itself, but still try to use it?
Unless you're a
She's trying to hint
sorcerer.
that Lee constantly
Denies his ability to
Denying-
use magic.
denying it is doing something to him.
Uh, to my knowledge, no. As long as you have the physical capability of bending the weave, whether or not you understand it, you can still use it.
Chet is going to ask and her mother and Celestial, could it also be
Just imagine
fact-
Brimstone just covering his ears.
Pretty much at this point, just
be a factor of maybe him also not maybe being a full orc? Too?
In response in Celestial, his mana does look very strange.
If she's talking with her mother, she's talking to Celestial as a note. It's
yeah. Just
he can do some things that I know orcs do not have that kind of magic. And I'm very worried. And there's no one I can ask.
Well, I don't have any answers for that. There are many orcs in town, and most of them can't use magic at all.
And even if they can, it's druidic magic.
It's either druidic or in the sort of vein of being a sorcerer. They're not
And-
typically arcane enabled or divine enabled.
I kind of resent that. She says it's celestial.
Don't know. I am worried very much
You
about him.
are obviously a well-studied young woman. You're from the
Yes.
Zemodis Temple. It's one of the few places where sorcerers come from that actually know how to read. No offense.
Then I'll just take the compliment.
There you go. But I don't know what's going on with him. Again, I say it looks like mana burn, but I don't know if that's what it is. All I can see is that he has a very severe deficiency of magic.
Mana potions don't exist in this world.
That's actually what you would need to fix this, is mana potions.
Oh my god.
i.e. liquid spell slots.
PG logic, yes.
It is a thing you can find. They're expensive
Okay.
as fuck, but yes, you can find them.
I didn't know that actually existed.
Well, it's
Do
not
we
a super common item to find.
Do we have an alchemist in town?
There's an alchemist out in the forest, so they're not in town, but you could find them.
You have to go out to the forest anyway to take care of the will-o-wisps.
Alright, be careful with that.
Well, I mean, we don't have to fight them, do we?
Still be careful. Even if you
Ah?
don't, even if you don't fight them, and she'll now switch back to common. Even if you don't fight will-o-wisps, you still have to deal with the fact that they will try to trick you.
I've been almost tricked to give my blood up by an imp. I think I can handle myself against a will-o-wisp.
That's
the
not
dot
a mark
face.
of endorsement.
Smash cut to later. She's
So-
given up her parents' souls to a will-o-wisp.
No, just smash cut to later. Keta just in the grounded timeout corner as the rest of the party leaves.
Yeah. Just Brimstone, just that's not it.
Be that as it may, be careful. More careful, especially you, Keta. And Brimstone,
It didn't
you know what will happen.
make sure that he's okay if he decides to stay back at the house.
I'll make sure he's okay, don't worry.
He's very stubborn.
I can tell. I've dealt with recruits before, I can deal with him.
Gee.
So what do we need to prepare to go out? Are they even going to be out in the daytime?
With the wisp, you can find them during the daytime. They're not as common as they will be at night. I mean, they will always be there. You can just only see them at night, typically.
We should be able to see them in the canopies in the forest.
Yes,
Why
under
did it-
direct daylight, they don't appear.
Would it make more sense just to go at night so you can easily see them?
That is fair, but at night you will encounter more of them, and also they tend to be a bit more devious when they're more apparent.
Yeah, I think going there during the day and dealing with less of them at once would probably be better.
I mean, there's just going to be more that's going to come, aren't they?
True, but we'll have a better chance at finding a source or wellspring of them and remove it or placate it. Whichever.
I mean,
Given where Morrigan's from, would she know anything about Will-O-Wisp? Just in general, how tricksy they can be?
Yeah, you come from a place where bogs are the thing, so yes, you've seen many will-o-wisp.
She just mutters, "They're tricksy little bastards."
they like anything?
I'm sorry, what?
They like anything.
Do they like anything is what I think she's asking. In your experience, Morrigan, it depends. You know that based on the color a will-o-wisp fire burns usually will tell you a bit about the personality it has. So typically ones that burn with a red flame are a bit more aggressive and harder to deal with because they just want to cause trouble and nothing else. But anyone that burns with a purple or green flame, they're typically more mischievous and childish. More easy to appease with just simple trinkets or candy.
It depends on the color. If they're red, you're better off just eliminating it because they're malicious. Green or purple, you can placate them with candy, little trinkets, stuff like that.
That's also why
had
this
that-
world's Halloween exists.
Dad got me to be quiet most days.
Okay, so we just throw Keta at them.
Yeet. And
Eat the
you
skull.
also know that if you see a blue one, you should leave.
And just upon remembering that, she just goes, "Oh, yes, and blue means we ought to just leave."
They are
Why?
basically they are incredibly unpredictable. You don't know what they'll do, and they can potentially be actually much more powerful spirits.
They're unpredictable. You never know what they're gonna do. They could actually be a spirit. It's hard to tell if it's a will-o-wisp or a more powerful spirit disguising itself as such.
It's rainbow colored.
Oh, then maybe you're having an odd dream. Maybe you ate the wrong kind of mushroom.
If a
Nice
will-o'-the-wisp is rainbow-colored, Keta, leave.
What your mother
Definitely
said.
I mean, if
And stay out of my pears.
then I already ate one of those pears by accident. But
Just the hypnotoad eyes.
We should really get the things together that we need to do. Go out, at least where they're supposed to be. Also, I need to go look for a shop in the actual town.
Alright. I
Okay.
can get you all together some holy water as well. That should help you.
Your mama.
Not a problem, little one.
But head out on my own. I'll be fine. I'm a big girl. I can handle myself. I know how to stab somebody with my dagger.
Keta, don't stab anyone in this city.
Don't attack me first.
Literally just scream that you're being attacked and half of the city will come to protect you.
But I will be back here. If
The
not
rest
by
of
noon.
you are allowed to stab people.
I was about to say, I tried a hot sauce yesterday that she had some of that. She could just throw it in their eyes and they'd probably leave her alone.
Probably because they wouldn't be able to see,
Cat is gonna go
like,
upstairs
ever.
and get changed
Just
into her
melt.
armor and all.
Melt their eyeballs. Alright.
Protect against the rain.
I don't know how well that would help, though. I think it would be consumed before she even got a chance to throw it. That was good stuff.
What are you all talking about?
We went to a
What?
We went to a cafe yesterday and there was this hot sauce that I was smart and ate it with my potatoes. That one over there, points to Failsy, decided to try and sip at it like it was a drink.
I mean, it was a fun reaction.
I mean, I've tried Redemption's cooking, so I know how that goes.
I can't feel my tongue.
Vivian just makes like a split-second disgusted face, thinking about that type of cooking. I don't like it.
Wait, is Keta the only one that's gonna have something to protect against the rain?
Felsy's got
Clothes?
Like a poncho or an umbrella.
It probably just hisses against brimstone.
Only against the. You're not flare.
I
It
know.
only burns. It only
I
hisses
know.
when it hits your arm.
I know.
If you guys had flare, you wouldn't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, because it can just make so much heat that it doesn't land.
Literally repels water.
Felsy doesn't have a raincoat, but she does have thick leather clothes she's got.
She's got a poncho and some rain boots.
Well, I should probably go check on the cart. And probably go get provisions and such.
Remember, no cooking.
No. And he just walks out the door.
I just picture it said sadly too. Just no.
You heard the tone I used.
I know. Just no.
No. He just walks into the distance, rain falling on his head.
By
His
the way,
shirt
Ramsay
becoming
Ricketts
completely
is
see-through
made up.
because it's a white shirt.
So now it just looks green.
Yep,
So, Lee in a wet t-shirt contest.
he wins. Anyways,
In case it wasn't clear, Ramsay Ricketts is made up as fuck.
Well, yeah.
Why did you even come up with the name Ramsay Ricketts?
I have no idea. Just
a
I
very
remember being-
a very famous culinary bard who had a vicious mockery so powerful that it could fell a man in a single word.
Donkey!
There you go. Alright, so what are y'all doing as you have yet another day on the town to get prepared before the nightfall? I will ask that we kind of keep brief so we can keep moving.
Da Vinci would go and see about getting a proper outfit. A proper, by other people's definitions, outfit.
Ah, so a shirt?
An
Instead
outfit
of
not
more-
from Tesverel.
Yes. An outfit that is more appropriate for the weather you find yourself in Because, by the way, it's cold.
I know. Da Vinci has just been kind of gritting teeth at it, but he knows it's going to get worse.
It's like, God damn, my nipples are so hard they can cut diamonds.
Morrigan would probably be doing the same thing. Like, just get that and maybe a good thick cloak. A winter's cloak. Because she knows that's coming, and from what she's heard, the closer they get to Failhaven, the colder it's going to get.
Ket
Well,
is
she would
actually,
know that'd be the case, coming from Palecrest.
Ket is going to actually head over to Daniel Jax to kind of have a small conversation with him about like maybe how old he thinks he is, and kind of like getting his gauge on the boy. Because again, older orc, basically trying to get an actual orc's opinion on this.
Oh, by the way, I know this won't sound cold at all to you, Armored, but for coming from a character who basically lives in the desert, it will be cold for Da Vinci. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 15.5 degrees Celsius. And that's not counting for the fact that you're getting wet and also there's wind. So it's fairly cold for a character used to more tropical temperatures.
Where was Madame Elway in all this?
She's around somewhere. You guys haven't really been keeping up with her. She has kind of just been hanging away from you.
She doesn't want to come in the house.
She... You don't know, actually. She's not said anything.
I was going to go see if she can find her because she doesn't really know what she can prepare except more spells.
Fair enough.
And anything vicious that comes near her usually gets exploded.
Fair. Alright, so... otherwise, you all can find clothing in relative short order. There are a few various cloth shops you can go to around, like tailors and such. None of them of particularly any remark. This is weirdly... For as quaint as this town is, it's fairly industrial in how it runs. So there's nothing particularly fancy to find here. The clothes do look nice, but they're very plain, is the issue, is what I'm saying.
No perform.
Yeah.
They're probably made to look nice enough, but more so to last.
Yeah, you get the sense that that is probably how it is.
Sunday best, but the Sunday best is also brown.
Yeah, basically... basically, it's good to get an outfit because you know it's going to be enduring. But for any form of, like, social event, definitely wear something else.
Yeah. Like, and I'm just saying that based on what you find off the bat. If you do ask for fancier clothing, they'd point you towards the guild hall, which is where all of the actual, like, properly skilled craftsmen work from. But if you go to the guild hall, you're going to be paying a lot more money for it.
The main clothing item, besides the winter cloak that Morrigan's looking for, is, weirdly enough, a turtleneck, because that's her preferred top to wear in the winter.
Fair enough, and you'd be able to find something at least akin to that. Doesn't have any of the fancy knitting, but it is a thick, high neck sweater.
Good enough.
Da Vinci would like to check out the guild hall, but first, how much is an outfit from this place?
To just get a winter cloak and a single sweater would probably run you about 8 copper. To get yourself a full outfit, like a complete change of clothing from here, probably a silver piece.
Does that include the cloak? Sorry.
Sorry, you both just started talking at the same time. It got weird in my ears.
Continue, Denny.
I was just asking if the complete change of clothes included the cloak, or if that would be separate.
A cloak is an additional thing on top of that.
Okay.
A cloak costs, if I remember rightly, either like 3 or 4 copper.
Okay.
It's not super expensive,
Okay, well, just to speed things up, Morrigan gets that in gray if she can.
Gray, black, and brown are pretty much the only colors you can find it in the common store.
Okay,
I don't-
she
Yeah, they don't do a whole lot of dyeing.
Mm, Da, Da Vinci will get a full outfit, included with like neck scarf, hood, the
Okay.
kind of whole shebang.
All right, to get something like that, it would probably run you closer to silver and a half.
Fine. He'll pay 2 silver and get 5 copper back.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's even cheaper than standard traveling clothes, but this place is not super fancy, so that's why.
And then he's going to take a look over to the guild hall.
All right. Yeah, so they'll point you in the direction of Guild Hall. It's further towards the northern side of the plateau. Whereas, no, it's further towards the southern side. I mixed up my directions on my map. It's closer to the southern side of the plateau because the northern side of the plateau is where the lumber yard is. You actually had to walk through the proper city to get to where Keta's house is. All right. Yeah, common clothes are 5 silver pieces. Forgot about that. Oh, well, I don't care. Traveler's clothes are 2 gold.
Hey, discount. Discounted clothes.
Less of a discount and more just not expensive because not fancy.
Thrift store clothes.
Yeah. Might be secondhand. You're not certain.
so
They
long
do look worn.
so long as they're still in good enough condition to wear and keep the cold out, doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
They're down from orcs.
Eh,
I mean, given Morrigan's chest size, an orc size sweater would probably actually fit her quite well.
It'd be a little bit loose.
big boob.
I was trying not to say it, but yes.
Orcs have bigger breasts. Because they got perks. And also a chest that's probably like a size 50, whereas Mordegon's is probably a size like 37 or something like that. Barrel chested boys. Still though, yeah, you can make your way to the guild hall. Definitely a lot more lively in this area. Before I get to that though, I'm gonna see if anyone else has things they're looking for in particular.
The only one that didn't say anything was Brimstone.
All right.
Not really.
Get you some of that
Brimstone's
tiefling
just
tail.
being a sad boy.
There's nothing really Brimstone needs to get at the current moment.
You can always go to a shop and actually get some, or just a general store and get some supplies for your guns and such.
Yeah, that's true. Not a bad idea.
Because you do need to get metal and such to be able to make them.
Yeah. Do need to get me some lead.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so you can go to pretty much any blacksmith to be able to find yourself materials.
You.
Let me see how much that cost. Getting yourself an iron bar or like an iron ingot, which is probably, if I remember rightly, it's about 5 pounds of iron just in a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Not huge, but it's fairly solid.
Right.
Oh, it's a 10-pound ingot. Is that what I'm thinking of? So it's not a huge ingot, but you can use it for any type of crafting you need. That'll
Right.
run you 5 silver pieces.
Okay.
To get a comparably sized bar of lead, though, that's going to cost 5 gold. Because lead is a very expensive material.
That's true. I don't really need it to be lead. Iron would work.
If I remember rightly, aren't iron bullets a bad idea?
Yeah. Okay.
I remember them being a bad idea. Oh, well, I don't know
Isn't
why.
lead like softer?
Lead is softer. It doesn't deform and shatter when fired from a gun, like iron would.
Yeah.
But yeah. But if those are the two materials you're looking for, that's what you'd be getting.
Okay.
If you want to get a silver bar, which would only be like a pound of silver,
Mhm.
if that, yeah, just a pound of silver, that would probably cost you more in the range of, depending on where you go. At this store, it would run you about 25 gold.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But then silver bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a useful material.
That's not a bad idea for now. Yeah, I suppose I'll get one of iron and one of silver.
All right, so you get an iron bar and a silver bar.
Yeah.
You can mark that off appropriately. All right. Failsy, did you say you were looking for anything in particular, or are you just wandering about?
Uh, suppose she might look for a tinkerer, someone that does like children's toys.
What was the weight of the iron bar? Was it 5 or 10?
It's a 10-pound bar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe a carpenter who does small things or
Alright.
side things for like small children's toys.
Fair enough. This is when I wish Streetwise was still an ability. But go ahead and make an investigation check, and we'll see if you can find something.
Investigation. 20 or 25? 20.
Oh, 20 is your total. Alright. You're able to ask around a little bit and be able to find someone, even though you're still a new face in town and people are a bit paranoid of you, just a little bit. They're still relatively open and willing to talk to you. So, you're able to be pointed in the direction of a little carpentry workshop that's fairly close to the actual guild hall. You'd probably actually be getting there about the same time that Vinci is getting to the guild hall. But it's a little carpentry workshop attached to the guild hall where, upon entering it, you do see essentially rows and rows of the wall shelves just lined with small toys. Currently, you
morning.
don't see a proprietor.
Hello. Knock, knock, knock. Sort of knocks on the table or the counter.
Just dunk, dunk, dunk. The nice solid counter. The whole countertop, which is probably about 9-10 feet long, looks like it's carved from a single piece of wood. And it even has like a beveled edge on the side, and it's been completely engraved. It all looks like handwork, and it's beautiful.
Well, this certainly looks like a carpenter's shop. Where's the carpenter?
Just a minute.
Oh god,
Eventually.
I was about to say, oh god, the bench better not be talking to me.
No.
Turns out the shop's a Warforged.
Just the whole thing's Warforged.
Jesus. So, big
It
war
ain't
forged.
I mean, they can be big.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
As long as they have the
Warforged.
anime.
It's a transformer.
As long as they have an animation core big enough to move their body.
And as long as they're not directed by Michael Bay.
Yes. Well, I like those movies. Anyways. eventually a very large man, and I'm talking like you've been around some large people. This dude is probably about Jamel's height, but is round. Like his whole body is just like round underneath his giant coat he's got on. And you can't really see his face at the moment. All you see is a gigantic white beard spilling forth in the front of his body. Well, how can I help you?
Hi. I'm taking on a little contract to deal with some will-o-wisps. I heard that some can be placated with little trinkets.
Oh, that's certainly true. I tend to leave out toys for them whenever we get to the fall harvest. Is that what you Is that what you're interested in today?
Yes, I was thinking of, well, heading into the woods to thin out their numbers.
Oh,
And if we could turn some away with some trinkets, that'd be helpful. As opposed to burning down half the get them.
that would be not advised. Well, I can certainly help you with that. He just sort of like slowly walks forward to the edge of the counter, and just turns and walks around to the actual part where you can walk out into the main store.
Can I tell if he's human or orc?
Well, the hands you can see and you can't see them appear to have like tanned, leathery skin of a human rather than an orc. Like no green tone to them, just old man skin.
Ah.
And as you can't actually see his face at this point, it's just that he has so much facial hair that it's like so bushy that it just like balloons out and covers most of his face. All right. Well, we have a couple of things. If you're intending to placate will-o'-the-wisp, I can cut you a deal even. And he'll lead you over to some more simple toys. Basically just small wooden dolls that are being held together by string so you can actually like properly like pose and move them around a little bit. These little things typically do fairly well for them. They like to hang them around and jingle them. Each one of these little dolls is only a copper if you'd like them.
Very good. Out of curiosity, when we try placating a will-o-wisp, do I need to get up and actually hand them the doll, or can I
I mean,
and hope it takes it?
you see his face like droop a little bit at the idea of just throwing one of the toys. I would recommend not throwing them. The will-o'-wisps that enjoy trinkets and toys are like children. They like to be given gifts. So you must be gentle with them.
Good to know. I heard that there are some malicious will-o'-wisps out there,
Yes,
and I'd
Those-
rather.
those ones are like rebellious teenagers. Willing to cause harm, but still more or less harmless. How many little toys would you like, though?
Let's see how much. Where's my monies?
Yeah, so just so you can know, getting these small dolls, which are more or less made for this purpose, they are a copper apiece.
Yeah, I have some silver pieces.
And he has quite a few of them made.
about to say I'll buy 5 silvers worth, and then realize that's $50.
Yeah, just based on what you see on the storefront, there's basically a little baby mobile, like those little spinning whirligig things that you put over a pram.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, and it probably has about 25 of these dolls on it.
I'll get about 20.
I can do
Um,
that for you. That would be 2 silver.
Bowser would take out 2 silver and give it to him.
He takes it slowly and just one slow step at a time makes his way to the back of the storefront, retrieves a cloth bag, sets the silver behind the counter, and comes out back forward. Just reaches up to probably a good 10 feet into the air where these toys are hanging from. Just starts plucking them off this little mobile and putting them into the bag for you. The whole process takes about 10-15 minutes. As he removes each one with a great deal of care.
Takes pride in his work.
Out of Fauzi's new habit, she'll fiddle with her wife box.
Such a statement. All right. Go ahead and make an investigation check for that.
Investigation. 8.
You just fiddle with the box to no avail. Yeah,
More
but
just something to pass the time,
fair enough.
so she's not impatiently waiting for toys.
Yeah, he slowly lowers the bag in front of you right as you're like, I think this might move. And then it doesn't move, and then the bag is in front of you.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Do be careful. Will-o-wisp are simple creatures, but they can be rather dangerous if you are not careful.
I'm always careful. Don't know if I need to roll deception for that.
He doesn't have any reason to incite you.
Yeah. Doesn't have any reason to believe to the contrary.
Or any reason to believe, period.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just
Okay.
smiles at you and waves. Well, if you need anything else, you can always come back.
Looking around, what else would his services entail, or is it generally just toys in here?
I mean, it's a lot of little things. It appears that he makes a lot of mechanics for like mills and such as well, because you can see like the wooden cogs that would go into making a windmill's grindstone.
A lot of things that Fauzi's not quite interested in yet because she owns no land.
Yeah, fair enough. No land and no grain to harvest. But it's just a lot of things like that where it's just mechanical components made of wood, some of them made of stone, and then toys. Like all kinds of toys.
Mark down, I have a bag of 20 toys.
Yep. Da Vinci, you were able to also find your way into the guild hall. And as you get into the guild hall, this is more what you're used to. The sudden departure from nothing really happening to sudden hustle and bustle of people running around, moving products from place to place, getting things ready to be shipped out of the city. This is more what you're used to when you're thinking about craftsmen. I don't have sound clips for guild halls, unfortunately. Yeah. But you can ask around a little bit and make your way to a tailor. And this is a lot more flamboyant an area. but flamboyant in a weird way because on the outside you're like, okay, this is a tailoring shop, and the guild hall, by the way, is set up a bit like a weirdly enough almost Grecian in style, where you get into the front building and you think it's just one giant building, but it's actually just a wall around a massive open courtyard with a bunch of smaller buildings inside of it. Is Armored here?
Yep. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
He's
Okay,
here.
sorry. You just weren't saying anything, so I was worried. All right, but you find the tailoring shop, and from the outside, it looks nice. It looks simple, but you could see some particularly beautiful garments displayed in the front window of this shop. However, once you go inside, it goes from the nice outside to a haunted mansion where everything is either black or shades of gray, or like deep purples and blues. Sorry, my ankle popped and it hurt.
Hmm.
But deep purples or blues, and it's gaudy in the best way possible. Like gaudy in a goth way, which is a weird statement to state.
Uh, not saying it out loud, but just internally. I both love and hate this place at the same time. How is that possible?
But almost as you are having that thought, you're not sure if it's somehow in response to it. You just hear, "Welcome," from as pretty much as you've entered. There was a very slight ringing sound. It didn't quite sound like a bell, just a ring that sounded through the household, and a particularly royally dressed, dark-skinned woman starts making her way down a staircase that you're not sure why it's there, considering this place didn't look like it was 2 stories from the outside.
It's just the dramatic staircase.
Yes. But before you see a drow woman in a very royal gown. Like, talking full crinoline style dress.
Hmm. Hmm.
How can
Da Vinci will.
today?
Sorry.
She just
Sorry,
said,
didn't
how
quite
can I
catch
help?
that.
She's just asked, how can I help you today?
Da Vinci will give a bow. Hello, It's a pleasure to meet you. I assume that you're the purveyor of this place?
Yes, I am. And she gives you a small bow in return. And I can see you are soaking wet. And she makes a quick gesture with her hand, and suddenly all of your clothing is dried off.
Thank you.
Not a problem. I would not want you tracking water through my abode.
That is very fair.
So I assume you are here for clothing and wares? You appear to be dressed in the Tesvarelian style. Not a good fit for this nation, I'd say.
You have a very perceptive and beautiful eye.
Flattery will not earn you a discount. Come, come. She just turns and starts walking into a side room and just sort of beckons you to follow.
He'll follow. I was merely paying a compliment.
She almost doesn't really react. It's odd. But you can actually, as you are following her, you notice that per drow standards, their hair is always white, so that's not a particularly good tell. But elves typically do not show their age very well. And even among elves, drow specifically do not show age very often. This drow woman looks old.
So probably like 800 years or old or something.
You could assume, yeah. And it's especially odd because you know what a drow is because you do occasionally see them around, but it's
And Flair.
very yeah, flare as well. But it's honestly fairly rare to see and interact with a drow because they're fairly reclusive people. All right then. Is there any particular style you're after today?
Hmm. I do have guess you could say a attachment to my outfit. It's flowing, it's freeing, but it's not exactly good for these climates, especially where I'm gonna be heading off to.
Hmm.
Do you have something that it does not restrict movement and yet is a suitable garment for for the cold?
We have a few things, yes. And she's actually just sort of makes another motion with her hand, and you hear like a as a clothing, like the rail from a clothing rack, extends out of one of the walls, goes past you, and then clicks into another wall. As just rows upon rows of clothing starts filing out of it laundromat style.
So we're in the Matrix.
Yes. You're in the matrix of tailoring. But yes, this massive Rolodex of clothing just starts flying past you. So you want something non-restrictive but warm. Alright. Any preference on material style? Do you want it to be cloth, leather, fur? What is your preference?
Hmm. Huh. Some fine silks work well with my skin.
Silks but warm, alright. Certainly not impossible, though a bit more pricey. Are you aware of that?
I understand,
Alright.
but I'm also not opposed to multi-material.
Alright. So you'd prefer a silk lining and a more sturdy outside?
That would be very appealing.
It's perfectly doable. We have several silk lined shirts. Bit thicker material on the outside to ensure warmth. And she makes another hand motion, and the clothing on the rack changes from what was previously various different cloths and fur type clothings. And now you see a lot more refined looking clothing moving through, so things that you can assume have silk and interact with them somehow. Very well, very well. Do you have a color preference?
Hmm. I've been going around with a lot of purples. How about a nice blue with gold?
Blue with gold. You certainly are like wanting to look the part of a royal, aren't you? She just
Sorry, didn't
chuckles.
quite catch that one.
Blue with gold. You certainly are wanting to have the look of a royal, aren't you? And then she just chuckled at you.
what what can I say? I'm used to performing with a crowd that suits best for that.
Fair, fair. And I can see you have several accent pieces on your person right now. That glass skirt is particularly interesting.
Ah, yes. I managed to pick it up while traveling through the desert.
through the Flagora Desert, you have been a far ways. And met with some interesting people.
Yes. Seen many sights, many interesting people. So many I would never have met and never have seen had I stayed on Tesverel.
Well, Tazradel is really only a place you go if you only want to see humans, dwarves, and tieflings.
Or for me to see my home.
And I was speaking of the people, simply not of the place. Eventually, she snaps her fingers and the rack stops. Alright, we have several silk-lined shirts and pants here. Fairly simple-looking garments. We have blues and golds, some purples still. It just depends on what you would like. And she starts basically pulling off and bringing over to you several various shirts. And I don't know why, various outfits, I'm just going to say, because that makes more cohesion.
Yeah, because like you would have potential outfits that are multi-layered. Some outfits that are probably more akin to a suit.
Yeah.
Some that are more flowing or more poofy.
What she brings forth to you is almost like a ranger's clothing, where it's the sort of like loose slacks for the pants, so it doesn't restrict your movement at all, but still is completely covering your body. So good for warmth. And she does like instruct you to feel the inside of them, and they do have a thin but very apparent lining of silk that makes the inside very luxurious feeling. Though the outside is more of a tan, not my brain is blanking on a word. More of like a tanned linen type outside, which is just made to be completely sturdy, but it has been dyed to uh, a deep midnight blue to make it a bit more fancy. Though the material itself is not particularly beautiful; it's the color that's beautiful.
So basically, from a distance, he looks great. Under investigation, it kind of shows.
It still looks good. It's just not if the outfit was just silk.
Yeah.
And it's a similar situation when she provides you with the shirt, which is almost in the same vein. It's like uh, tied taut jerkin type situation, where it would usually either go over top of a basic linen shirt, or in your case, since it does have the silk lining, you could just wear it directly over your skin. But it's a similar color, though it is dyed with a bit more of a pattern, and it does have small stitchings of golden thread to make almost like a spider webs pattern going through it. And given the little you know about Drow, that's kind of their aesthetic. Especially considering when you look around yourself, you do actually see like cobwebs
Mm-hmm.
that have been so meticulously constructed and placed in places. You're not sure if it's well trained spiders or a use of magic. But it's just the clothing is simple but well designed, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
This outfit would probably do you fairly well for simple travel. I also have cloaks that can go with this sort of design. Very similar embroidery with the golden thread. And if you'd prefer a different type of design, something more symbolic of the Tesvarelian style, I can do that for you. Perhaps some nice flame patterns or something a bit more akin to the hearth.
Hmm. The spider pattern is lovely. Do you have anything with more of a flowing pattern? Flowing like wind or
Wind?
water?
Wind or water? I could do that, I could do that. And she, much as you've seen her do many times, makes a gesture over the surface of the clothing. And you actually see like the gold threads move in the clothing, like rearranging themselves from the spider network of patterns to a more like a flowing pattern that, when it's embroidered in gold, you can't really tell if it's meant to be a flame or if it's meant to be water with how it's flowing through it. The fact that it is gold might imply more that it is a flame, but it does have that sort of waving upwards texture, slowly coming to gentle points or starting more wide at the base. Is this more like what you were thinking?
That is lovely.
Very well. I can do the same with the cloak if you'd so desire. It does have similar embroidery to my base designs.
Oh, that would be appreciated.
Very well, I will do the same. And much like she did, there is the wave, and then there is the almost slightly unnerving when you're deciding to watch it. Just seeing all of the threading just like pull itself out of the cloth slightly, and then realign itself into a new pattern. It's bizarre, and you've never seen crafting like that before.
Where did you learn these techniques?
It is in the style of my homeland. Up in the Jhelum Tundra.
The what tundra?
The Jhelum Tundra. Or the Jhelum Tundra. It is another part of the Draic Empire. The three components of the Draic Empire being the Flagora Desert, the Jhelum Tundra, and the Tursta Forest. But yeah.
I haven't been over there.
A Tezverelian native probably would not find themselves into that location. Don't imagine you like the cold.
Cold is indeed something that doesn't often agree with me, but I've had to work through it in previous times. I did spend a fair bit of time over near the Blossom Kingdom.
The Blossom Kingdom's more bordering the Tursta Forest. But fair enough. Well, this cloak would actually help you when you're in the forest or in the tundra. I meant to say because I messed up my brain hole. This cloak would actually be of great assistance to you in the forest. The silk on the inside of this is referred to as ember weave. It's for a specific kind of spider that we sometimes grow and harvest in our homeland. We're not particularly fond of the cold either. And she does show. She basically flips the cloak inside out to show you, where on the outside it does still have that sort of patterns of midnight blue and purple, where it's been basically dyed in similar waving patterns to what you've now got the threading going through it. Almost kind of like a weird tie-dye pattern now that you're getting a closer look at it, but it's strange in that and how she's worked the threads into it actually go along the natural seams of where the color is blended. So it actually is making it look more like flames the more you look at it. But when she flips it inside out, the silk lining, where the other ones have just been like a white or a cream colored silk, the silk lining on the inside of this is a deep burgundy red.
That is... I don't think I've ever seen something like that before.
Yes, Emberweave silk is not uncommon where I come from, but more valuable elsewhere. It's a material that when any sort of motion is placed against it, and she demonstrates this by slowly brushing her fingers along the inside of the cloak, and you see like little sparkles go across it. It produces heat.
Oh, that would be very useful.
It tends to be. Most of our clothing is lined with it when we're in the tundra. As for shoes and such as well, I have fairly basic styles. I don't know if you want anything fancy. I don't actually remember if Da Vinci wears shoes, period. I don't think he does.
He has kind of these
You have the glass
slippers.
boots, but yeah.
He has slippers and he has the glass boots.
Yeah, which I assume you're wearing the slippers right now.
Yeah.
I could essentially just get you something like that, but a bit more thicker material.
Yes, these are great for being light on my feet, but they don't do much against the cold.
I don't imagine. Maybe some nice socks too, some woolen socks. Not particularly beautiful clothing, but they're rarely seen with these types of clothes,
And they're always a necessary in the cold.
of course. Yeah, so grand total for the outfit you're putting together, basically a warm outfit, and you get the sense that maybe this particular cloak is also jacking this price up a little bit. Sorry.
Mhm.
She tells you that this is going to run you 20 gold.
Hmm. How much would it be to add a jacket mm, on top of the shirt?
The one you're currently wearing, or this outfit?
Let's say with this outfit.
It would not add to the price too much. I'd say it'd probably make it up to 25 gold, depending on the style you're looking for.
Hmm. Because what I'm thinking is something that can just complete the outfit, but is also something that if I need to just only warm up a little, I can wear it with my normal outfit. Possibly have the front open.
Hmm. The style would clash terribly, but I understand where you're coming from. I can do that for you. Let's see. And she starts cycling the clothing through again. Jackets. Yeah, we have a few things. And she brings forth more clothing, more jackets in the style of what the sort of jerkins and such she's already brought you, though these ones, rather than having the... My brain is blanking so hard right now, and I'm very sorry. Rather than having the design being the full front of the shirt with just the tie up towards the neck, these ones are completely open in the front with buttons to latch them clothes. Basically, four going up the front to latch it closed if so desired.
Yeah, basically, basically single-breasted suit jackets.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get it at. That was a Freudian slip.
I've
Yeah.
done, I've done suit shopping before, so
Yeah. It's not quite in the style of a suit jacket because that would clash against the style of the other outfit pieces you have, but it is a similar piece of clothing in
yeah,
terms of form.
like I can imagine also like the armpits are higher, so they're less restrictive.
Yeah.
That always annoys me with suit jackets, how low the armpit is.
Have you ever
Which not
considered because they're not built for giants?
No, that's just
Uh,
normal suit jacket look. So that you're not expected to be raising your arm.
That's fair.
Alright, so in total that would bring you up to 25 gold pieces.
For craftsmanship as lovely as this, I'll take it.
Thank you. She will take your gold and provide you your clothing. Would you like to wear it out, or would you prefer to have it wrapped for yourself?
Uh, I'll, I'll have it wrapped for now, thank you.
Not a problem. And again, another hand gesture and waterproof wax parchment comes forward. The cloaks fold themselves and wrap themselves up, and then a nice black bow is placed over top of it. So you now have a completely white wax paper parchment wrapped in a black bow, keeping it closed.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem. And tell others that you have been here. As I, the DM, look up what this place is called again, because I forgot off the top of my head. Because I'm bad at describing things, it takes all of my mental focus to describe stuff. I'm not a good DM.
You're not a good DM, you're a great DM.
Not true. Absolutely not true.
Hey, you end up having these chuckle fucks, plus myself as the worst of them. You managed to wrangle us in.
Barely. Anyways. Oh yeah, this place is called Gloomy Night. All right, and if you have any other friends who would be interested in fine clothing, be sure to tell them to come to Gloomy Nights.
Oh, I will most certainly do that.
She gives you a small curtsy and bow, and basically lets you leave.
Yeah.
No, she keeps you there forever.
He'll give her a bow and depart as well.
Alright. Alright. So yes, you're able to leave, and as you are leaving, you hear the sounds of metal clinking as those devices go back into the walls. And you re-exit back out into the front of the building and just look back around. The place you were just in was way bigger than this building.
It's a TARDIS, but a clothing store.
It's the Matrix.
The matrix of clothing, most of it goth.
Dravinci just met the tailor.
Yeah.
So there's one other thing Dravinci would like to do in here.
Her name is
But
Madame
for-
Gloom. I forgot that.
Madame Gloom.
Yes, she is
That's
just referred
great.
to as Madame Gloom.
No,
Fair
but
enough.
there is one more thing Dravinci would like to do here, but for sake of time and brevity, can kind of gloss over it for now.
Alright, so what is it? And I can essentially just tell you how hard it will be, what it will cost, and what it will do.
Pop over to the jeweler, see, chat up the guy, see if they're willing to buy stuff and present the bloodstones he's collected.
Alright. Remind me, how much bloodstone did you have?
Because of the experimentation on the road consuming 10 of them, he has 20 jewelry quality gems of bloodstone with some gold, with just a few small pieces of gold and bloodstone jewelry, as well as a just listed as a sack of
non-gem quality bloodstone.
All right then. I have to look back at my notes to remember how heavy that sack was, because non-gem quality bloodstone is sold by pound because it's used to make dye and then used to also make mosaic tiles. Still valuable, just not as valuable, and rather than by piece, it's by pound.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly, that was a 5-pound bag of stones?
5 or 10 pounds.
I think it was 5 pound because a lot of other stuff you found wasn't even worth taking. Period.
Fair.
You found a huge rock full of this stuff. There's only so much you could take. Period.
Yeah.
All right. So
And hey, we got a lot of good stuff anyway. Oh yeah.
how many gym
Probably
quality
drop mine
bloodstone
off.
did you find?
No. Sorry, could you repeat that?
How many gym quality bloodstone did you find?
Found 30 through experimentation. Kind of scrapped a few of them, but got some of them set into jewelry.
Okay.
So there's 20 left. 20
All right.
loose stone.
So I have to get a calculator.
Oh boy.
He looks through them all, just sort of like puts his little extendo eye glass thing. I always forget what those things are called. The small magnifying glass you can put on your eye.
I think it's literally just called a jeweler's eye.
Okay, yeah. He puts on his jeweler eye and starts examining each stone, seeing if he'd even be willing to buy them. Sets each one down differently, like aside as he goes through them. Each one meets his standard because that's what gym quality. You knew which ones would meet the standard to rank them as gym quality.
Of course. And
I'd be willing to give you 800 gold for the lot.
Now, these came from a long ways away. All the way from an island in between Jezebeth and Tezrel. Can we make it 900?
Make a persuasion check.
15.
All right, not bad, not bad. I'll make an insight check on his part. He's technically classed as a shopkeeper, so he doesn't have a bad insight score. But he didn't get a good roll. I can do 900. There's still some profit margin in there for me. And by the way, this jeweler is a Goliath. Just a giant,
And-
gray-skinned man.
And that's just for the gem quality?
That's just for the gem quality.
Perfect. I'll take that offer.
Alright. Let's see this. You got a bag of... You have a bag... I forgot. The Goliaths in this world technically are supposed to have, like, weird accents. I always forget that.
Yeah, it sounded more like he was orcish.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, orc jeweler. Okay.
Well, it's because I'm, like, going through all of my notes real fast because we were trying to go quickly with it.
Right.
This is a Goliath, man. That would be the jeweler for this guild hall. It's supposed to have a German accent, apparently. I'm not even going to bother with it. Because we're trying to be fast about this.
Not right now.
For the bag, the 5-pound bag of non-gym quality bloodstone, per pound it typically sells. He'd be willing to give you another 100 gold for that.
Sure.
All right.
20 per pound?
At least with the rate he's buying it at.
Yeah. That's fine.
Some places with a
weight
higher
off
demand
him.
might be buying it more. All right, so... And did you want to try selling the jewelry you've already made, or just keep that? And you have to remind
Just
me
more-
what type of jewelry you actually made.
Couple rings and two bracelets, but one of them was given to Morogon.
Okay.
So
And they're like wire frame things, aren't they? Because that's the material you had. Or I can't remember if you actually had like ring frames ready.
he had rings and plain faced bracelets on him, and he was just worked on basically editing what he had.
All right. Do you remember at all what your check was at the time? Because I don't.
The check that costed 5 of the, what I recall was some of the jewels to be just tossed as scrap, was like a 4, or like a very low value, but then for the set making of the jewelry itself, it was a nat 20.
Ah, right then.
But first, Da Vinci just kind of says, as a professional curiosity, from one jewelry crafter to another, what do you think of the quality of these pieces?
Well, let us see then. He actually takes off his jeweler's eye to be able to turn this around and examine it with his just bare eyes. And what do you let him look at first?
He'll set down the rings and the bracelet, but to first hold up the bracelet for him to look at.
Right. I have to do some looking real quick. Give me a second. They're all very well made. The bracelet, it is a lot of material, but it is simple work. No offense. It is beautiful work, but it is simple work. Large, easy to get your tools in there.
I agree. I unfortunately didn't have much gold material at the time. I had to work with what I had.
Fair enough, fair enough. I'd probably put this bracelet around 75 gold. If you were selling it per your own stand. Someone would probably be very willing to buy it at 75 gold. I'd even say you could probably get 90 for it if you sold it to the right person. These rings, however, these are beautiful work. I must say I'm rather impressed.
Oh, thank you. That's quite high praise.
I will admit to not being the best when it comes to jewelry. I know quite a lot, but I have these large hands. They can only do so much fine work. You would be able to look around into the glass case he has at the front. He does still have beautiful work. It's not the best you've seen coming from Tezverel, but it is still beautiful work.
Oh, I'm sure you still have better work than some of my siblings.
A pleasure to hear. You come from a large family of craftsmen, I assume?
Family of 8.
Impressive.
And yes, jewelry runs through our veins from my father.
You must be from Tezverel. Gold runs in everyone's vein there.
Yes, that. Of course, being the middle child, I could never quite compete to the oldest.
Hmm. Not something I would know. Oh, but your rings.
Yes,
And how many of the rings were there again? Because I was looking at figures.
but probably around like 3, since he would only be using what he had on him.
Yeah. Used 10 stones, 5 were scrap, so probably 3 of them went into the rings and then 2 of them went into the bracelet.
Yeah.
Alright. These two, I value 150 gold. And he sets 2 of the simpler made, still 2 of the rings that you personally probably spend a little bit less time on now that you're thinking back to it. They're still wonderful work. You did a very good roll for it. But it's just the simple fact that you spent less time on it than you really focused down on the last ring. This one, however, and he lifts up the last ring, which you did some beautiful engraving work into it with some of the premium tools that you had made, which honestly really helps you with the crafting compared to other people because they never need to be sharpened.
Mm-hmm.
This one, well, I'd love to be able to make quality like this. I'd put this one, gosh, at least 250, if not 400 gold. Beautiful work.
Thank you. That and another bracelet I made were the 2 pieces I spent probably the most time working on.
It really shows. Though I assume the other bracelet has already found its intended owner, as I only see one upon the table right now.
Well, what can you say when you're friends with the craftsman, you can sometimes get the best items.
Hmm, I would say that more depends on the craftsman than the friends. But still, very impressive work.
Uh, sorry, how much were the 2 rings?
2 of the rings, they were 150. Then the last ring, he kind of gave a range of prices on, where it's
Yeah.
anywhere from 250 to 400. Like 400 being the maximum you could probably get for it, but 250 being the minimum anyone should be allowed to pay for it.
Yeah. Well,
If you're looking to sell these pieces, I of course would have to buy them at a bit of a markdown so I can mark them back up to my prices, but I'd be
oh,
willing to buy them.
of course, of course. Well, I must say, thank you for giving me your opinion as a craftsman and as a merchant. Honestly, it's always difficult to price your own supply.
Yes, time and effort makes the price much higher than people are willing to pay, as they do not understand the amount of work that goes into our work.
Oh, tell me about it. It seems like only in Tezverel you can actually get people who will appreciate the quality.
Now, I've never been personally, but it is a slow wage in a place like this.
Well, uh, I'll pu- I'll sell the bracelet.
Hmm. All right. I said 75. If you're willing to part with it for 50, I'd be willing to buy it.
I'll take 40 for it. One craftsman to another.
Well, thank you kindly. And he'll hand you another 40 gold. Or rather, he'll tack that on to what he is giving you. So he's going to ask, because he's going to ask you if you would prefer it in gold or platinum, because that's a lot of gold.
Yeah, he.
Or if you'd prefer some of it in gold or platinum.
I'll take about 100 platinum, and the remaining 40 would be just gold.
I could do that for you. Yeah. So he goes into his back room, and you can hear the sound of a large mechanical device being cranked. You would recognize it as a safe.
Mm-hmm.
And a few minutes later, he comes back out with a sack of coin for you. If you would like to count it, I am perfectly willing to stand and wait for you to count it. I do not want to be short serving you.
Well, if you don't mind, should be rather quick.
All right, so you count it out. It is true to the agreement. 100 platinum coins and 40 gold. And boy, do those platinum coins shimmer in the light.
And with that, business is concluded, and I thank you for being open for business.
Of course. I will continue to be open for business, and now with some lovely new materials. All right.
Well, hope you have a good day, and may your sales be high.
Of course. And if you have any need of jeweler's supplies or of simple jewelry, you can always come back to Gustav's.
I'll remember that.
All right. On that note, I think we should go ahead and take a break.
Sure.
And then when we come back, we can do Andy's thing. And then Brimstone.
Yay. Or no. I
We'll
don't.
see.
Ah, boy.
And then we can do wisp fighting if we have enough time.
I don't think we will because I've been
Yeah, I got you.
full. Anyway,
All right, so quick
Bye.
break, everyone.
Yee.
bye, Rick.
Don't have to pee. I already peed.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
don't
get
either,
stuff.
but I'm leaving it for other people.
So if we're taking a quick 5 to 10, I would like just to say that I was going through my Twitter likes earlier, and
Oh,
I
God.
found 2 familiar art pieces that Danny made.
Oh no?
But
Oh.
no, it's just the Neri. Yeah, the baby. My
Yeah.
favorite being baby Neri with a frog. And she's an angel. Well, not really, but she a good druid.
Yes, I that was last year's Inktober. It's been a full year since that.
Look at the baby. So
Little
cute.
baby
It's-
playing in the mud.
Yes, she's so small.
Also, holy cow, did Da Vinci just rake in the money?
Yeah, no kidding.
Not gonna share it with anybody.
I mean,
Well-
you had a lot of expensive material.
That's entirely up to DaVinci on if he's going to share it or not.
Well, yes, that's why I've been holding on to it for so long.
Yeah.
And secondly, I honestly don't know.
Yeah, that's
If
fair.
Travince will
Uh,
share.
Not out of being selfish, but just when you consider everyone else had so that almost everyone else has some form of history with a family that would have a lot of moolah, or at least access to stuff that you would need to that can easily just be comfortable for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Hmm. Like the only one who doesn't basically fit that bill is Morogon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Plus, he has other ideas for that money.
Son will live and die in the guest room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I don't think he has a house.
No.
I mean, if you have a place to stay, why do you?
Exactly. Like, doesn't really have any reason to not stay here.
That's the annoying child.
Yeah.
Annoying child over her boyfriend being sick.
Hmm.
And so now Da Vinci has some nice ultra fancy clothing that keeps him warm,
Mhm.
and he's also got some poor man's clothing that keeps him warm.
For the situations abound.
Yes, because he's thinking going into Pelcrest, if it's as terrible and shoddy as he's been hearing,
Wrong location, but yes.
or
Going into Fellhaven, not Palecrest.
Failhaven. Right. Sorry, I completely blanked there. But if Failhaven is as shoddy as he thinks from what he's heard, then it's probably better not to show up in a bright blue and gold outfit and just be screaming, "I have money."
Pretty much. It's a good idea.
So the poorer outfit is for, okay, so me being human, dress up in this dreary clothing, I can pretend to be just normal poor human.
Of course. Understandable.
Yes.
I return.
Welcome back.
I return.
Welcome back.
Well, welcome back. Andy was just complimenting your lovely art.
I see the baby Neri drawing.
Yes, sister. Sister.
I still find it kind of funny that during that we basically had 3 pieces of art prepared for one section.
That's just how it goes sometimes.
I was inspired, okay? And for that particular moment, I actually wanted to have, a visual, so I drew the art and had it prepared and everything, and ah!
Yeah. All right. Is everyone back?
I'm back.
Think
Hi,
so.
Bill.
All right. So Danny and I believe I heard Failsy and Monsieur Ja. Is
Yep. Yeah, everyone's here.
Yep.
Is Andy?
Yep.
I'm not hearing Andy.
I had a phone call.
Oh, okay.
I had to be an adult.
I mean,
What's that like?
do you have to though?
I'm here to.
Being an adult, what's that like?
I've heard it sucks though.
I should really ask you, man.
I've yet to experience the adult.
Same.
All right. Well, now that everyone returns. All right. So, next would be Keta. You were wanting to look for things and such.
She actually wanted to go to Daniel Jack's and talk with him a bit about what's going on because she wanted an actual orc's perspective on things. She trusts Daniel as kind of like a kind of uncle figure, I guess.
Daniel Jack, i.e., the orc uncle, who has seen many orcs grow up.
Yes.
He's local orc grandpa. Oh yeah, I guess orc uncle.
Orc uncle.
Yeah, that's
All
that's
yeah,
what
he's not old. He's not quite that old.
He's fairly old for an orc.
I guess that's fair.
The fact that he has white, the fact that he has like salt and pepper hair for an orc means he's very old.
she is
Yeah, that's true.
assuredly dressed in her raincoat and boots. So she does not get cold.
All right, so her little bear raincoat.
I don't know if it'd be that bright of a yellow, but it's still somewhat yellow tinted.
I mean, she could afford to have the full yellow raincoat.
You little hat.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you walk in. It's fairly early in the morning, so pretty much no one is here other than Daniel and a couple people who are enjoying some morning breakfast because, despite being a distillery, Daniel is known for having really good food. Makes a lot of hearty meals, a lot of stew, a lot of oatmeals, bacon. He's got the thick cut stuff too.
Yeah,
Good
she's
shit.
gonna shake off her coat, not track water places because she wants to be respectful.
Ah, Kira. It's nice to see you in, but you're a little early.
Could I talk with you about things?
That depends on what you want to talk with me about, but I don't see why you couldn't. I got an ear to listen.
Well, okay. Well, you know I have a Lee, and he's very important to me. Um,
Nice to know that he's so important to you that you just have him.
okay, I did. He's my boyfriend, but like also it's kind of weird. It's very complicated. Um,
Well, he doesn't seem like the brightest bulb, so I understand what you mean.
okay, I know that Tusk can grow back fairly quick.
Yeah, it usually takes a week or two. Usually, a little bit longer typically, but
Came back in overnight.
well, that's right bizarre.
I know, but he doesn't think it is.
I mean, I've heard about rare cases where it can take as short as 3 days if you've got actual magical healing to help you along, but
The last time
overnight
his
is bizarre.
the last time his tusk came out was when he smashed his face against a rock, and they healed him up a bit, but that still even took a little bit. But this is strange.
It still only took like 2 days for his tusk to come back.
It's still, from what it is saying, is still kind of strange.
Yeah. Hmm.
Have you known any orcs to like cast magic, or you have like innate magic?
Innate magic? No. I don't mean to down my own people that much, but we're not exactly a magical folk. More brawn over brains, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah, it's well, okay. So it's kind of like how Dad can do his weird things, and I have my things. Um, but I get worried because a lot of he's not the brightest. He's not the brightest, but he has a lot of heart in him, and there's some things that he can't remember that I worry about because I don't want them to hurt him if he can't even remember what happened. Ah,
Alright.
it,
I hate to say this, but typically if you can't remember something, it's best not to go digging for it. Brain block thing. I don't understand this too well, but few people I know who have lost their memories, they typically lose them for a reason.
mine
The
tries to
brain
protect
put,
you.
yeah, trying to hide things that it'd rather not have you see. So, I don't know, maybe you just had a rough childhood or something.
She has the look on her face like, "You're telling me, bud."
And that look tells me that he certainly did.
Yeah. And in your not so professional but like experienced wisdom, how old do you think he is?
How old he is?
He doesn't know.
Hmm,
If you had to
that's fair.
place like a ballpark estimate.
I mean, honestly, it still looks like a pup. Which, it's just an endearing term, but it means young. Late teenage, early adult years type young. Uh, I don't know.
Gon had told him that he's not supposed to drink alcohol, but like he's at least allowed to. So,
I mean, usually if a parental figure is saying you shouldn't drink alcohol, it means you've drank alcohol and you did some bad things. And he gets a very poignant look at you, Keta.
okay, listen.
And you know what I mean. You know exactly what it means.
I
Don't you try to defend yourself.
I do know exactly what that means.
So yeah, I'm assuming that's probably what that means. If I had to put a year on it, though, Probably say that boy is 18, 19, maybe around that year. Oldest he'd be is 20, and that's pushing it.
It's like I did not expect that.
Like, I'm not kidding. That is the oldest he could be.
Really?
I'd say youngest. He's a bit big, but youngest would be probably about to turn 18, but I'd probably put him around 18 or 19.
Ash, I have a question of just Keta's general knowledge of the people she's grown up around. Has she seen like orcs in that age range?
I mean, yeah, but they differ greatly, just like any race differs greatly at that age.
Just like kind of general, like she's seen like the younger ones, and then she's like, of course, seen like the older orcs who probably maybe a bit like muscular and things like that. It's just kind of gauging what Keta's knowledge is.
Just based on Keta's
guess.
knowledge herself, she'd probably have to agree with him. Like, he's around that age. Like, it's really hard to just pinpoint down an age because Lee is big. Like, per orc standards, he's big. But he's also very youthful looking.
Keta just kind of quietly mutters, I wonder if he's gonna get taller.
I mean, we typically reach a pinnacle of height and then don't get bigger, even if we're getting older.
But I am very small.
He's probably not going to get any bigger, Keta. He's already a big boy. We've got upper limits to how big we can get.
That tall once?
Hmm?
You that tall once?
Was I that tall once? No.
I mean,
Daniel is shorter than Lee.
Yeah, okay. She's making the joke of like some older people shrink.
I'm not. That's a human thing, Keta. That's not a orc thing. The only time we shrink is if we slouch our shoulders. Still, though. That's what you were curious about. I'd probably put him right at 18, 19 years old.
The same age as me. Alright, go around the same age as me at least.
Yep. Seems that way.
I guess I just kind of needed an understanding ear.
Oh, good.
Most of my traveling companions don't understand.
Tend to treat it more trivial now.
Daniel, they see me as a child, and I know that I'm young, but like, I have mature worries, and I worry about people, and I worry about Lee a lot.
That just means you care about him. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I see you as a child as well, but I've got good reason.
You've also seen me grow up from like little tiny baby Keta to now.
You were such a small baby. Just a wee
That I'm-
little bad, barely bigger than a bean.
I'm this height. I am very surprised.
Yeah, you're getting up there.
I am 5 foot even.
Well, you used to be smaller, so you're still getting up there.
Want to get a little bit taller?
I imagine you will. You got a lot of growing left in you. I mean, you look like a human, but I know you're a tiefling, so you'll get bigger.
It's kind of obvious with the horns.
Yeah. I mean, some people do strange things with magic and it gives them horns. But I know you're a tiefling.
It's like, oh wait, I don't know if you could see the horns yet or not. I remember I had long hair before.
Yeah, I've seen them. Tiny little things. You're good.
Thank you though. And she's gonna kind of just put a goal down on the. I guess I just, again, He is someone to talk to. But I,
All right.
my boyfriend,
Well.
before he gets himself a cold, he doesn't quite like shirts. I need to get him a sweater.
I mean, this is probably going to be one of the only towns in the area where you'll find a sweater able to fit that boy.
It's more so, he doesn't like wearing shirts and things his own size.
You know, that's not an uncommon theme.
And I had to fight with him just to wear a slightly bigger shirt to see my parents.
Yeah, he's definitely around your age then, Keta. You'll grow out of that.
Hopefully. But stay dry, and hopefully tonight I'll be helping to deal with that will-o-wisp problem.
All right. Be safe.
Always am.
That's not true.
I would know.
I have brimstone, so I will at least try to be safe.
That instills me with far more confidence.
But she'll nod, and then her time will probably just be trying to find Lee, and then trying to implore him to at least get. This is a town where they can make shirts that could fit you, and like I could get you a sweater. You need it. It's gonna get cold.
No. Okay.
Might make you feel better and like warm, and then you can lay down, and you can actually take up my entire bed while I'm gone.
Okay.
You
He
just even more exhausted.
His face is like drooped down. But he's also really wet right now because he's just soaked with rain.
She's gonna prestidigitation him dry at least.
All right.
Dry because he's big.
Yeah, just takes a couple of seconds, but you can get it done.
But she also will tell him at least, and kind of going on her knowledge of age, knowledge of like what age he could possibly be.
Okay. Let's...
As they're she's making sure that he has proper clothes for where they're going, if he's going to be insistent on traveling with them.
That's younger than Gond said I was, but Gond wasn't around a lot of orcs either. Okay.
Definitely sure is when I said about your proclivity for shirts. Which apparently it is very much more a young orc thing to do.
I mean, Keta, you know that a lot of young orcs walk around without shirts on, period. You're lucky if you see them wearing pants instead of a loincloth.
Want to say something, but that is for off stream.
Fair enough.
But she is going to at least try to keep his spirits up a little bit. Make sure that even if he's sick, he's at least comfortable.
I mean, the thing is, Andy and Keta, he seems happy. He just looks tired.
She's just worrying because her mind goes like a mile a minute and into the worst possible places.
I mean, the tiredness especially hits you when you realize he put up absolutely no complaints to putting on fitting clothing.
And for that, she's actually going to make sure to get him another nice new shirt, but it is in the kind of smaller size that he likes.
Yeah. All right, you're able to get him fitting clothing for probably about a silver piece because you're getting a couple of different things, I imagine. Sweater, scarf, shirt, stuff like that.
Yeah, this nice little. She makes sure to have them just embroider a little heart on the collar.
Yeah, you can get that for a silver piece.
Right. But Yeah, she's just gonna spend some time with him and just kind of have a little date, I guess.
Just a little date.
She's going
Alright.
to be insistent on him staying at the house when they go to Will-O-Wisps.
Alright then. Alright. Well, you can have your little date. Then we'll cut over to Brimstone.
Oh boy.
So what have you been doing this whole day while your friends and companions have been out shopping their brains out?
Um, kind of just trying to find a quiet place. Probably
Alright.
isn't super easy here, but
I mean, it's not super easy to find just a quiet place. But eventually you can get yourself to a place where you typically wouldn't visit, but because the rain, it's not super busy right now. It's
mhm.
just a little cafe.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's mostly an outdoor cafe, so right now with all the rain, it's not very busy.
Mhm.
The staff don't particularly bother you too much after you can order yourself probably just a black coffee, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, it is probably the first little bit of peace and quiet you've been able to get to.
Right.
The large front glass window of this cafe actually doing a decent job to muffle the sounds of outside. We
Hmm.
can more or less just hear the rain. Just a bit of momentary silence.
Gotcha.
Which is almost immediately interrupted.
Ah, boy.
This he taking? Imagine he was looking down at his coffee and then
Yeah. Yeah. Just look up to the voice.
it's actually Bliss. In casual clothing. Rather than the presentory attire she wears to be
Mhm.
the front of her bakery.
Right.
It's what would be a nice sundress, but it's currently raining out, so it's a little wrinkled from the ambient moisture, but it's still nice enough.
Mhm.
So, is the seat taken?
No. No, it's not.
And she sits down. Didn't expect to see you in a place like this.
Well, nobody else is out doing their own kind of thing. I just kind of want some time to myself.
Time to yourself can be a bit of a premium in this day and age, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially with Kata.
She does seem like a handful.
Yeah. A bit. Yeah.
Reminds me of my little one.
Brimstone just kind of raises an eyebrow.
It's a long story, and I doubt a relative stranger wants to hear it.
I mean, if you got the time to tell it, I ain't going nowhere.
Rainy days like this, I can't work in the bakery. Can't make candy when there's too much moisture in the air.
I guess that makes sense.
You can't boil the water out of the sugar. It's a mess.
Uh,
I could bake, but it would mess the baking temperatures up and everything, and I don't want to make subpar materials. Anyways, that aside, Yeah, I used to be in a relationship and it ended abruptly. When certain parties found out that I was with a child. It's a whole thing. Unfortunately, I. And she just sort of has to stop for a second. I didn't get to keep the kid very long. It. It's probably best I don't talk about that. I don't want to get emotional. But I can. She's a good girl, I can see that. Have you ever had a child, Atarax?
No.
Hmm.
There was once a woman who I would have loved to, but my father was not very approving of her, I suppose.
Hmm. A bit of a control freak, I suppose.
You could say that, yeah.
So it's something worse then, isn't it?
Primstone just kind of smiles almost to himself and just, not really that easy to read.
I'm just good at reading people.
I guess it's fair. Yeah, let's just.
Also,
We don't have a very good relationship.
that's fair. And also, I'm good at reading people, and it's fairly easy to see hatred in someone's eyes.
That's fair.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
Hmm.
Just, it's just the situation. You were with someone, and a third party drove you away from them because they did not approve. And I was with someone, and I was driven away because a third party didn't approve. I guess it's a
Yeah,
small world, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You could say that. I don't know.
So did your father just drive her away? Or was it something worse?
Just kind of looks around to see if anybody else is like paying attention.
I mean, the waiting staff of this place are relatively disinterested in you guys unless you actively try to draw their attention.
Hmm.
They just seem to be going about enjoying the fact that they are, for a change, having a nice, for themselves, quiet day.
Right. They're like, Nobody at any adjacent tables necessarily.
You two are pretty much the only people in this place right now.
Mhm. He he killed her.
I see. That's a good reason to hate someone.
I just thought maybe he was satisfied with killing my mom, but I guess not.
Hmm. Some deep-seated cruelty, then, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's called me a bastard at least once.
Given the term's actual meaning, that's a interesting insult to direct at your own son.
He doesn't like me very much. I mean, obviously.
I would assume he probably doesn't like anyone very much then.
Probably not. I just say sometimes I'm just worried that he's gonna come again, and this time he's not gonna kill someone, but he's gonna try to take Keta.
I wouldn't want to see that happen. I don't imagine you'd want to either.
No, he's already done enough damage to the people I care about.
I guess that means you're probably afraid of new connections, then, aren't you?
I mean, first of all, I'd like it if you get out of my head, please. That's a little weird. But
Well, so I'm in your head, aren't I? She just chuckles.
Brimstone just kind of takes a moment to respond. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna stand by that one. But yeah, I guess you could say so.
I'm glad to hear you're thinking about me. Might be a bit of a odd thing to admit, but I've actually been thinking about you as well.
Just raises an eyebrow again. Just huh.
Well, don't give me that look, Atarax.
I mean, plenty of people have been thinking about me, but it's not always good.
Well, I assure you I don't have any negative thoughts.
I hope not. After we've cleared up that snafu of our initial meeting.
It just, I suppose you could call it an interest. I'm curious to know more about you. Honestly, you remind me a bit of the.
A bit of home.
This is awkward. I'm sorry. I sat down to have a cup of coffee with you, and now we're talking about this. Wow, Bliss, that is so smooth.
Hmm.
You guys are going crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it happens sometimes. Words have a weird way of coming out when you don't want them to.
Certainly when you feel close to someone, it's especially hard. And I can definitely say that I feel a kinship towards you.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Similarities and mutual suffering can kind of do that, yeah.
Mm. What was his name?
Who's?
Your father's. I'd like to know so I can avoid him if I ever meet him.
The only name I've known him by is Ataraxes. Yeah. Funny thing, I don't know if it was my mom or if it was him, but somebody named me after him.
Mm.
Kind of wag.
Ataraxes. Yeah. I prefer your variation.
Now it makes sense why I like being called Brimstone a little better, doesn't it?
I suppose it does. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Brimstone.
Yeah.
That has a nice ring to it as well.
Whichever one you feel more comfortable with, I suppose.
I remember Atarax more fondly.
Fair enough.
She just sort of sits there for a little bit, not really sure what to say. Still kind of punching herself about letting the topic go that dark that quickly.
Brimstone is just kind of the same of just like, I don't know what to make of this.
Um, I was actually coming, I was hoping to find you. I wanted to ask for your assistance with something. Uh, no offense, but specifically yours.
Okay.
Well,
What specifically you need me to help you with?
well, you seem like a strong individual, and
Just kind of depends on the meaning.
strong-willed and able to get things done.
Okay, that's probably fair.
I mean, you don't look particularly weak, but you're wearing a lot of armor, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, not particularly. Probably maybe a bit more average, maybe a bit more than the average person, but
It's still good.
that definitely seems stronger. Anyways, not important.
My hope was to ask you if you could look into something for me. Um, I'm sure you noticed my shop, yes? The many doors, and the fact that it's always myself who answers the call.
Mm-hmm.
There is a location that has recently encountered some interesting issues of the demonic sort. I mean, wish I could say that I am a fighter, but I am not. I mean, just look at me. Do I look like a fighter?
I mean,
Why do I just picture Brimstone immediately looked at her chest without thinking about it?
no, just kind of looks her more over and just. I mean, I've seen people like you do some crazy shit.
I have some magical prowess, but not. I am not battle worthy. I more fall to the enchantment side of things.
Just.
Well, don't give me that look. I don't mean that way.
I don't know magic at all.
Oh, I thought you were trying to. Never mind. Never mind. That some people call me some strange things. Anyways, if you would be willing to, I'd be willing to compensate you. I don't think it would take too long. I just need someone willing to deal with demonic entities. And for some reason, you strike me as someone who'd be willing to do such a thing.
Just looks to the brand. Yeah, I can. We can see what happens. I'd be willing to at least give it a shot. And just looks away. No, I stand by that.
I assume there was some form of joke you just made and I didn't get it.
Yeah, joke. We'll go with that.
It is a particular brand of humor, but I like it. Yes, anyways, the job, it's my shop that is actually in Granum proper. It is currently being accosted by entities that I am alarmed by the fact that they would manifest themselves in such a location. For
Yeah,
reasons I'm sure you understand.
that's huh. Just kind of gets the reflexive grimace of, oh, that's a holy city. Shit.
Well, it is simple. The pay would be good, and if you'd be willing to take the job, I am very willing to hire you. But again, just you. I do not know the rest of your family companions, but I have only met the little one, and she seems.
Yeah, the last time we encountered something of this kind of nature, well,
No offense to her, but she seems gullible.
yes.
Or I guess I could say childish.
Y-
Innocent?
yes.
She
Uh,
seems very innocent, and these are not
almost
the sort of.
obscene. Almost obscenely so, yes.
Alright. So, are you willing to take the job?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Uh, I actually have a written up contract, if you'd like, but I just. I might have been overthinking it, to be honest. Most, like, guild quests are given to contracts. It's. uh, She just seems to be stuttering, just like, I might have over prepared for this.
Brimstone just like, mm-hmm. So what? You're looking to get me to sign a contract so you could see me more often, huh?
And she just sort of like composes herself and just reaches into her bag that she had set down before when she sat down and pulls out some various bits of parchment. In no simple terms, yes.
Brimstone just kind of blinking, just like, wait, what?
Yeah, she had like the moment of flabbergast blushing, and then it's time for business.
Huh.
Yes, to put it simply, I would like to see you more, Brimstone. You may infer from that what you will. But for the moment, I do just need assistance with this matter. Soon, if you would not mind.
Alright.
Wonderful. You don't actually have to sign this, I just made it. Yeah, she just actually, after having set the papers down all officially, she just sort of like awkwardly scooches them back towards her. Well, if it is a deal, then come with me, I suppose. Can show you the location and we can figure out from there.
Alright.
Right.
Might want to tell someone where I'm going.
That would probably be for the best. Meet me sometime later tonight?
Probably just probably do it in about an hour or so.
An hour is good as well. I'll be at the
Yeah.
bakery.
Alright. Well, see you then.
She stands up, grabs her coffee, which is actually in like a paper cup,
Mhm.
because they have those for some reason.
Look,
Because a lot of trees go through this place. They
yeah,
make a lot
yeah,
of
it's
paper.
it's a lumber town. It's a tree processing.
Yeah, so she
Plants and
takes her paper cup full of coffee, just walks out with all of the confidence in the world, and as she gets outside, suddenly remembers it is raining. And that's where we're going to end it off for tonight.
Brimstone
you
just
know-
like,
I hope you know that when he does leave, that's going to be exactly that fucking gif.
I know. But Brimstone.
Lower lip and everything. It's perfect that it's raining.
It's just gonna be Keta reverting back to baby.
Oh.
Just shrinks down and turns into a baby.
Right.
So I'm guessing it's not until next section.
Fight Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, that's gonna wait because I don't want to keep you up any longer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Well, also the whole thing of Brimstone leaving.
Well,
We can
that-
technically go ahead and just have that bit since he won't be here next week to do it.
yeah.
If
I
you're
don't-
willing.
No, you don't need me to be involved.
That's fair.
Just find Ketcha and Lee walking about.
Yeah, because the party is split the fuck up right now, so
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was gonna tell anyone, it would be Keta.
alright.
Yeah.
Then
Question, Danny. Where is Morgan right now? Would you have been following Dervinche?
gone into the goth clothing store.
No, because that is not her scene clothing wise. The only reason she'd go in there is because, lots of neutral colors, but not her style, so
I mean,
But
she has
it
a
being
lot of
also
style.
very colorful on the outside, it was a turnoff.
pretty much, yeah, so who knows, maybe
Yeah, the place looks like a rainbow on the outside, and then when you go inside, it's all black.
yeah, she'd just been like, nope. Like, retroactively, she would have just told Drew Vinci, I'm gonna go walk around while you do your clothing shopping.
You have fun now.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of places in the town that you could just go to and have some meals.
Yeah.
Card cafe.
More so, she's walking around, because right now, this kind of reminds her of home, so, you know, weather she's used to.
Ah, yes. Mud in the streets. I feel at home.
Really?
Anyway,
Any who's?
In Hoozles.
Ah,
What I'm trying to say is I'd kind of like Morrigan to be there for the goodbye.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can.
Found Keta and Lee shopping.
Yeah, just bumped into them and just started tailing along with them. Let's go with that.
That works.
Kinda. Okay.
Alright, so that group of people is together. Thalesy, I don't know if you'd be with them as well.
Felsie is fiddling her white box.
God,
Failsy is probably Failsy and Da Vinci would end up traveling together since they probably would have
Yeah, they were
ran
both at
into
the
each
guild
other
hall.
outside of the shop or guild.
I was gonna sack over his shoulder.
And,
Sack with a bunch of wooden wrangling in it.
and then Da Vinci, there's there's just a audible sound of chink 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 as he's walking.
What if he's gonna share that?
Yeah, so I'll say that you two get together and can spend some time looking for like a proper bookstore again, actual arcade knowledge, and also just eating more spicy foods and watching Failsy suffer as she eats spicy food. But the goodbye.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah, Felsie's just like, finally, fucking God.
Just a oh hey Keta, so I'm gonna be leaving. Bye.
What?
Cheers.
Dr. Brimstone.
I'd
All right,
rather.
No, I'm gonna go out and get a pack of cigarettes.
Damn it. Anyway,
I'm just going to the store and get some milk.
What?
I'm just going to go to the store and get some milk.
12 years later.
Jesus.
All right. So yes, those two are off doing their own thing right now. But meanwhile, Brimstone, eventually you do find this gaggle of fairly easy to spot people in this town of humans, elves, and orcs.
Yeah.
it's the bright yellow coat.
The
Yeah.
bright yellow coat helps.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to spot Keta in the crowd anyways.
Depends on how
But
tall the crowd is.
that's true. But yeah, the bright yellow with the bear on the back goes away.
Brimstone.
What'd you say? Did you say hi, Brimstone?
Yeah, it's hi Brimstone and she's waving.
Oh. Hey, so I don't. I guess the easiest way to say this would just be alright with it. Bliss and I ran into each other, and she had something she wanted me to do.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna go do that. I don't know how long I'm gonna be gone.
Cacta visibly droops, and if her ears could droop, they would. She looks very sad.
Kata, I know.
I want you to go.
Kata. You'll be fine without me. You have Lee, you have Monaghan, and Da Vinci, and Frailsy. I don't.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is a business matter then.
Yeah. Something about demons in one of her stores. Sounds like it should be a quick affair, but I don't know.
Getting her, okay? You gotta come back in one piece. Promise?
I'll see what I can do about that.
Drax, you gotta promise me.
But, I'm not gonna make promises I can't keep.
At least try.
That's what I'm gonna try to do, yes. I'd rather not die.
Yeah, she's just gonna hug him.
That means you gotta try to not die too.
Make sure to keep everyone else alive. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably for the best too.
just try to get back quick. And I'll try to not go to Failhaven without you, because I can't do that without you, Brimstone.
Depending on how long this takes, you might not have a choice. I don't know. Just do what you have to. If I can get back in time before you leave, that's great. But if I can't, then we'll see.
As an FYI, Keta has not let go of Brimstone this entire time. Like, once she started hugging him, it's still, like, hug. Be sure to tell Mom and Dad. Won't be happy, but she'll understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the way to head there too.
No, it'd probably be best to get on your way, right, Monaghan?
Well, if he wants to get it done fast, then yeah.
Yeah, that's the hope. Hopefully it's not too bad. Maybe it's just more imps, but I don't know anything else beyond that it might be. Although,
If it's more imps, can you get me some imp bones? Because Failsy kind of took mine.
I mean, the main worry is just that it's in Granum proper.
It's very bad.
Yeah.
If it isn't green and proper, you should get going real quick. Mom would understand
Yeah.
greatly then.
Just be careful.
In Infernal, she whispers to him, I love you.
Yeah.
And then she'll finally let go of him.
Just the single head pat. Even though she's got her raincoat up, so it's just just through the coat.
Don't think you're getting away without one from me as well. And Morgan's gonna just grab him in a hug before he can object.
Okay.
It's Besides, if anything, I think Mom would be at least willing to pay Morrigan at least for a day or two to be my guard. She's probably the strongest out of all of us. No offense, Lee, but you are also very sick right now, so you're not casting any You are not trying to do anything.
What?
That's funny.
Exactly.
He actually looks like he almost just fell asleep standing up.
We gotta get him back to the house then.
The rain
Ye-
makes the rain feels nicer.
I'll see you back at the house, Morgan. And she's gonna just kind of usher him off. Sit outside for a little bit. No. But let Morgan have her moment with Brimstone.
Can she'll pull out the hug and, like, you know how the platonic way of doing so, kiss him on the cheek.
Uh-huh.
Just look him in the eyes, like, says to him, I'll do my best to keep her safe for you while you're gone. I don't know. I can't speak for the others, but I can speak for myself.
Yeah, as long as someone's looking out for her, she should be fine.
Right. She's stronger than she gives herself credit for, though.
Yeah, but soft heart of hers is gonna get her hurt someday.
That's part of why I worry about her. She reminds me of me when I was that age.
Yeah. Alright.
You be as safe as you can, alright?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Like I said, hopefully it's Imps, but this one's in Graham proper. I'm sure it's gonna be something worse.
All the same, you try to make it back to us as best you can.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Alright, well, I'm not gonna keep you any longer than I have to.
Yeah.
Be safe and may the gods watch over you.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see about that. Brimstone's just gonna head off in the direction of Redemption's. Just to let him know. And to let him know that he has asked Morgan to watch over Keta in his stead and to actually, even though he knows that Redemption probably will, just like, spare for the time that she's doing it, please.
Of course. You've got pay waiting for you here, by the way. I know you're mostly doing it so Vivian won't kill you, but you are still technically hired to be Keta's guardian.
Yeah. Alright. You know. Yeah, I'll take it while I'm here. Who knows? Might be useful.
Alright. So you've technically already been doing this for 2 months.
Mhm.
So the total that would come out to be would be 500 gold.
Okay, cool.
Because it's 250 gold a month.
I just need to spend three more gold. Then I have the devil note.
Yep.
Oh, one of them. Okay.
And Brimstone.
Mm.
Whatever you're doing, be careful.
Yeah.
I know how reckless you can get, but
Not that reckless.
you used to be more, but you definitely calmed down.
Just looks at the horn. Or rather, the lack of one.
Yep.
Yeah. As long as it ain't too serious, I should be fine, but we'll see.
Do you want some holy water before you leave? We have been making it.
Just the contemplation of that's gonna suck to carry around, but yeah, it'll be useful. Yeah. Just in
Don't
case.
worry. For as much as Vivian protests hating your guts, she specifically put it in insulated vials that won't bother you or any of the tiefling companions on your group. Though mostly you for reasons we both understand. It's essentially the vials, rather than being the clouded glass that would typically be used,
Hmm.
is lead treated glass that magic cannot penetrate through very easily,
Hmm.
i.e., super clear glass. You won't see
Yay!
it.
No.
It gives
Okay.
you 4 vials of holy water.
Wait.
Alright. Be safe.
Doing my best.
And your best has helped us win wars, so I'm expecting a lot.
Yeah, we'll see.
Alright.
Alright.
Yeah, he just sort of waves to you as you head out.
Yep.
And then, as you are heading along your way, you are stopped by one more person.
Oh, boy.
Madame Elway is standing outside the house as you leave.
I'm still just trying to shit. Well, you got something to give me too before I go, away. Seems like everybody's in a given mood today.
Advice.
Just alright.
Probably just some that will help aid your decisions going forward. The one you've met is one you know. Just be careful. And that is all.
No, I have a feeling that once I figure out what the hell you mean, you're probably right, but until that point, god damn it, do you have to be so damn cryptic, away.
I'm an old woman. All we know is crypticism.
Brimstone just doing the whole thing of just I want to say something, but she's right. Fair enough. All right. I'll think on that. Oh, thank you. Just head off a little confused, but okay.
Oh, and one more thing.
Nah.
I'm sure you know, but beware blood that binds.
Over what?
Beware blood that binds.
Mm.
I think I got cut off again.
No,
Before-
I heard you that time. Beware
Oh.
blood that binds.
Then I did get cut off again.
Oh, did you?
Beware blood that binds. The water of the womb is dangerous. And she just sort of walks off into the mist that is being kicked up by the water, the rain around you.
That one is more confused. What? I'm not. Huh. Alright.
And as Brimstone confusedly walks away, that is where we will properly end for the night.
So do we get into the shilling thing?
The shield!
Yes, dude, the
Hell-
shill.
Hello, hi. You saw me as Andy. You saw me as Andy. Yes, Andy.
Yes, we did see you as Andy.
But I play Keta, the girl with the marshmallow soft heart, for many things. But Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find me as Aaron Lineley, the Fairy Blood Hunter, who is going through some shit right now. We did not have a session last week because DM kind of fucked up his leg. Fuck you, Mother Nature.
Don't fuck Mother Nature, it'll fuck you back.
Yeah. But you can find us there at twitch.tv/Lithvarian Citizen. Also, he streams. He's actually starting to stream Jedi the Fallen Order, I think it is. It looks like a fun game. You also can find the a lot of other streams where he's a very fun dude. You can find our Twitter at World of Iona, where we post different things there. You can find all of our VODs, YouTube, well, that YouTube link. I can't read my voice is too short to fucking read it out. And then another friend of mine, I do not have the link at the moment, but find him. You can find my good friend Tim at twitch.tv/It's Me Timothy. He streams Dead by Daylight and Black Sad, I think it is. It's a cat detective game. I don't know. It looks interesting. But he's just a generally very chill dude. I'm trying to get him to 100 followers. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, so I'm not gonna show Curse of Strahd because that's not happening until January, so we'll take a whole month off. But Mondays, 2:30 p.m. EST is Shadows and Starlight, where I play Helgrim, but I will not be there for the entirety of December. Same with here, because I'm taking the entire month off to prevent myself from burning out on D&D and other such games. But while I'm gone, still go watch them. It's going to be interesting to see what happens while I'm gone. That is at twitch.tv/the_lady_Ori. We'll see what happens. It'll be fun.
You'll have the VODs to watch back, so you'll know.
Oh, no, I know.
Plus, just because he's taking the month off from playing doesn't mean he has to take the month off from watching.
Yeah.
We are still going to have to discuss what's happening to you in the interim.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have to play D&D, but we'll have to discuss what happens.
We'll discuss that one time. When time comes. Hey.
Yeah.
And bad words.
Alrighty, so I think that leaves just me now because you said that there's no Curse of Strahd for all of December.
Yup.
If the DM's not present, it's kind of hard to have it.
Well, I'm not the DM, but
No, I thought you were the DM. Oh.
no.
No, it's someone else, but the DM doesn't like playing without everyone there.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So that just leaves me then.
Yes.
No stream next week because for those of you who are in America, you know next Thursday is Thanksgiving.
It's Turkey Day.
Turkey time.
Yes, turkey gobble gobble.
I'm gonna make a turkey.
So yes, there will be no stream on this channel next week, and if there is, it'll probably just be a very late night Cards Against Humanity stream with whoever is available, should they choose to want to do so. So that it's kind of like up in the air if there'll be a Cards Against Humanity stream next Thursday instead of the normal.
Assume there won't unless there is a message about it.
Yeah, if I start link bombing that we're playing Cards Against Humanity, then you know that we are streaming. But you okay? You okay there, Ash?
Listen to music.
Yeah.
Anyhow. So with that, I think that we're done with the. And we'll be back in December with one less party member because he's going to be off doing thing for his possible girlfriend. Oh come on! It's obvious Bliss has a crush on Brimstone.
For now.
To her, he's an attractive man.
For now.
Brimstone is handsome. Accept this fact.
That's not what I'm saying for now.
We'll see how long it takes for him to be eaten by the corpse monsters. What?
Yeah.
Anyhow, with that, I think we should all say our goodnights.
Good night.
Good night.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Good friends. Goodbye.
Shit.
Did you just burp like I burp?
No.
There you go. That's how you do it. Oh, heartburn.
Oh no! But anyway, good night, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks.